So guys, like the video, like the video, like the video, like the video, subscribe, smash the like button. Smash the like button, guys. Like the video, like the video, like the video, subscribe, smash the like button. Smash the like button, guys. Smash that freaking like button. Smash the like button, guys. So guys, we're gonna be talking about Finidi George. Today is his birthday. Happy 50th birthday to Finidi George, one of the greatest legend of Nigeria football. Happy birthday to Finidi George. We're gonna be talking about Moises Caicedo. We're gonna be talking about Chelsea's sponsorship deal. We're gonna talk a little bit of football debate. Then we'll round it up with Mauricio Pochettino's interview. Smash that like button, like the vid. Smash the like button, like the vid. Subscribe to the channel, like the vid. Subscribe, guys. We are on the road to 30K subscriber. The season is upon us, guys. Get your boys some help, and also I'm also working on the super chat. Hopefully, before the season starts, the super chat will be ready so you can support your boys. Smash that like button, like that video, subscribe, smash the like button. Let's go, my people. Yo, my people, how not day now? Like the video, smash the like button, like that video, freaking like that button, smash the like video, guys. So let's talk. Well, firstly, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. We are getting closer to the new season. It's upon us, guys. We're getting closer to the new season. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. It's gonna be a bit of a season to us. Arsenal, Chelsea, United, Newcastle, everybody rebuilding. It's a beautiful new season. We are getting ready for it. Also, let's see. Can any team, Chelsea, City, United, can they challenge Man City? We don't know. We're gonna wait and see, but it's gonna be a beautiful season upon us. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you support us. But we're gonna be giving you all the live content here. But firstly, let's talk about him. Tom, how you doing today? How's your weekend going, brother? Tom, are you there? Tom, are you there? How you doing, brother? Tom, can you hear me? I think Tom is muted. So, but firstly, we're gonna talk about Moises Caicedo because I need us to have a discussion about Caicedo, and it's gonna be a broad discussion which I want us to have because it's a little bit scary for me when it comes to Caicedo discussion because, like I said, Caicedo isn't a bad player, but I think Brighton. I'm having a problem with Brighton because I'm having a problem with Brighton because Brighton are getting on my nerves, and it's getting to a stage where it's annoying me right now. That is the stage I am right now because I really want Caicedo in my team, and I think the way Brighton are doing right now, they are kind of pissing us off because of the Declan Rice deals that goes for 100 million. So they are kind of putting all the deals at 100 million, which for me, I don't think Caicedo worth 100 million. But like I said, the market has escalated where small players is worth a lot of money. For me, I don't believe Caicedo is worth 100 million. I believe Casado is worth max 55, 60. That's max, that maximum. That's like what I believe it worth. I don't think it worth 100 million. But with the market that is going on right now, where a lot of team are literally just bamboozle so much deals. When it comes to Chelsea, they're gonna be giving us 100 million. Enzo Fernandez 120. For me, people might say, does Enzo worth 120? That's a big discussion to have in terms of Enzo Fernandez because that's a lot of money, but also Declan Rice too, 105. So the market has inflated where it is difficult to pinpoint because I don't think I said it worth 100 million. But like I said, it is the market we are right now where any little player escalates into different any little player escalated into big money. And I keep telling the market we are right now is a little bit complicated because it's it's somehow the way the market it is right now where I don't think this player worth 100 million, but like I said, the market has inflated where small players is worth a lot of money. So it's kind of annoying right now to deal with Brighton because we've dealt with them before. They gave us Potter, they gave us Cucurella. So they said us so many deals that is kind of annoying me, which I believe those kind of two things doesn't worth putting too much effort to it. But like I said, Brighton is a very good club. They are a very well run club, and I kind of like them, but I hate their institution when it comes to buying players because they're gonna inflate you based on the market. Does Casemiro worth 100 million? No, for me, 55, 60 max. But because of the market has inflated, so what more? That's why Brighton is demanding 800, but Chelsea wants to pay 80, 85, but Brighton want 100 million. So it's a little bit complicated, but I believe we'll come to a compromise. For me, I believe 90 will probably be what we're gonna bet, what we're gonna table down. So, but let's see. It's all about negotiation. Like Fabricio has been saying, this week is gonna be a very pivotal week where Caicedo wants to move, but Pochettino also wants Caicedo to join the squad for the traveling party next week Monday. So hopefully, hands crossed, finger crossed, God willing, Caicedo join. But 100 million, that's a lot of money. I don't think it worth the money, but the market has inflated where it is tough. But let's see. Tom, Moises Caicedo, 100 million. Do you think it worth the amount of money? Because I don't believe it worth that money. But do you think
Mm,
it worth the money because the market has inflated where little players cost a lot of money?
mm. I'd say, if I'm being really honest, I think £100 million. I think it's the going rate. I
Mm-hmm.
really do. I think if Declan Rice goes for
Mm-hmm.
£105 million, if Declan Rice wasn't English, he probably wouldn't be worth that much.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, I mean, there was quoting from Dortmund, wasn't there, with Jude Bellingham? He was supposed to go for over 150, and he
Yeah.
went for about 80 in the end, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Like Caicedo, I think is a little bit different based on the. I don't think Brighton probably got the money that they were looking for from the McAllister deal. I think they were looking for a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, he had a release clause. With the Caicedo, I think it's a different story. And they've already really had you over once with the Cucurella deal. How much did you pay for Cucurella? Was it 60 or
62.
something?
62.
62 million pounds. I mean, Cucurella's probably a 40, £45 million fullback, even when he had that brilliant season at Brighton. I think Caicedo was a little bit different because he's come to Europe from South America and he's adapted brilliantly. And as you said about Brighton, I completely agree with you. For me, I think outside of a lot of the big clubs in England and maybe even in Europe, I think Brighton are one of the best teams at recruitment and getting the right players into to the squad.
Mm-hmm.
Caicedo for me, listen, I would have taken Caicedo in a heartbeat at Man United. Whether it's 70, 80, even £100 million, I'd take him. I really think he's that worth it. And I was shocked when Arsenal went for Declan Rice first because I thought they was going to go and get both Rice and Caicedo. And when they were just going for Rice, and then that's who they decided upon, they wanted to blow a lot of the money on and not go for Caicedo. And then they went for someone like Havertz. It shocked me really because I thought Caicedo was a a perfect player for a lot of teams. I think with you guys losing Kante and Kovacic, I think you guys need a player like this. You needed a Declan Rice, a Caicedo profile. I think us in terms of with Casemiro, if he gets suspended or he needs to be pulled out of the team and have a bit of a rest, then I think Caicedo would have been a good player for us. As I say, Arsenal, they were getting rid of Partey and Xhaka, so there's two spots there for midfielders, and I thought maybe Rice and Caicedo, but for me, I think £100 million, I think that's a fair price. I think with how the market is right now in terms of midfielders, and I mean, I don't think you guys really helped yourselves with the Enzo deal, with how much you spent there.
Mm-hmm.
So, really, you're going to have two midfielders in there that are going to cost probably upwards of 100 million each. And the thing with Caicedo is, with we don't know how Pochettino's going to set up this Chelsea team, and we don't know how you guys are going to play.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd be shocked if in the first season with Pochettino you see him implement his style of play. I think it takes a year at least for a coach then to get the feet under the table, know what they're working with, and then they can build their system from there. Hence, with us, we played I don't think with Man United we played brilliant football. Ten Hag, he bought the way through the season. Yeah, we won a trophy and got top four, brilliant. But now that we're bringing in, say, a new goalkeeper and we're brought in Mason Mount and we're hopefully going to get a new number 9 as well, he can build on there and he can actually implement his system because he's got 3 positions which help him to showcase his system then. Whereas with you guys with Caicedo, I think it is a transformative signing because it's a new Kante. I've always said, out of any profile of player, he is the next N'Golo Kante for me. And when he came to England originally for £5 million, we were supposedly interested in him for £5 million, but we weren't prepared to take a risk on a young player. And if I'm being fair and honest, I don't think he would have played that many games anyway. Even if you guys would have brought him for £5 million, do you really think you would have paid him many games? When you had all those good midfielders, you still had Kante who was young. You still had, Kovacic who was around and Jorginho. I think it would have been hard for him, but I think if Brighton are demanding £100 million, I mean, I don't really blame them. You stole the player of the season in Cucurella. You stole the manager. You stole the sporting director, Win Stanley, and now you want to steal the next.
Now you're telling me because for Porter we pay close to 50 million, 20-something million. Cucurella 60.
No, but you've took their best player at the time in Cucurella. You've then took their sporting director in Win Stanley. You've then took what's it called? Potter, their manager in the middle of a season, and now you want their next best player. It would surprise me if they blocked Todd Bowley's number.
Do you think there could be a compromise? Because for me, I think Moises Caicedo, for me, max 55-60. That's it.
I don't think I'm not in agreement with that. No, I think he's £80 million anyway.
80 million? How? Easily. See, Tom, I rate Caicedo very, very well. This guy is a fantastic player.
I would put. I swear down. If you had an open checkbook right now at Manchester United, I would pay whatever it takes to get Caicedo, whether it's 80 or 100. I think he's that good. I'd rate him more than Declan Rice. Me personally, and I think Caicedo gives a team exactly what they want. Whereas Declan Rice, I think he gives you a couple more options. But Caicedo, you know what you're getting. Holding midfielder, energy, versatility. You get in the fullback. Whereas with Rice, he can play. It depends what you want to do with him. You can play him as an 8. You can play him as a 6. It depends. With Caicedo, if he plays in midfield, he's probably going to play as a 6 or a box-to-box. Really. But in terms of why I say that price tag, if Mason Mount has just gone for £50 million with 1 year left in his contract, and Caicedo's still got 3 years on his Brighton contract, like the amount of money it would take for you to pay out his contract at 3 years at Brighton, it will probably come at around, I would have said around 20 million. That's roughly about 70, 80 million pounds. We can say Caicedo is a better player than Mason Mount. Let's be honest, all round, and he probably has the potential to go better. So, hence, I come to the price tag of 70-80. And if I'm being fair and honest with you, I think 70-80, even now, I'm shocked that you guys haven't even just gone for it straight away. And I'm really surprised that not another club has gone for him. Really, I mean, City are looking. We're looking at Rice. I don't know if they'd look at Caicedo, but I don't think that's the sort of midfielder Pep goes for. But it's difficult. I think it is difficult.
Because Tom, if we get Caicedo for me, I will be happy because the way Poch wants to play, Caicedo is a Poch player. If you look at the way Caicedo's energy, physicality, people might say his passing is a little bit clumsy, but he is 21 and he can always.
He can adapt, yeah, he can
He's
improve.
21, and what I love about Caicedo is what I love about him is Caicedo is when talking about a midfielder, Moises Caicedo is very, very intelligent and he knows his position very, very well. And when you talk about South American players, they have this dog in them where you know Caicedo have that dog in him. He can tackle, he can pass, he can do so many stuff, variety of stuff that a midfielder can also do. That's why I said, yes, Declan Rice also can also do what you want in the midfielder to do. He can pass the ball, he can do a variety of job in terms of what I want him to do. But if I have to choose, I will choose Declan because Rice has more experience and he's been in the Premier League for a very long time. So I will probably trust Rice more than Caicedo. That doesn't mean I don't rate Caicedo. I rate Caicedo very highly because I know he is a technical gifted player. Very good. When you talk about technicality, that's Moises Caicedo. He's a very good player.
Yeah, and that's why I come to the conclusion. I think Rice suits Arsenal better than he would you guys, and I think Caicedo suits you guys better than he probably would Arsenal. So I think where both players are going, because obviously Rice is going to go Arsenal, and it looks like you guys will get Caicedo. I think they're going to the right clubs that I think they should go to, based upon just the profile of players that you bring in, but also, I guess, the way that you guys want to play. And that's the thing why I say with Caicedo is, it depends how Poch wants to set up the team, because really, your midfield could consist of potentially Caicedo, Enzo's obviously going to have to start because of the price tag. And then, who else do you have again? Like another midfielder?
We don't have any other midfielder apart from that one.
You've got like Gallagher and stuff, haven't you? Still, I mean, I don't know. It's a hard one really, because the thing is, you've got Caicedo, Enzo, and even if you play such as Gallagher or,
I think we're still gonna get another midfielder.
Well, I thought you were going to get what was his name? Who just went from Sporting? Was it Ugarte? I think his name was. Yeah, Ugarte. I thought if you didn't get someone like a Caicedo, I think he would have been a good signing for you.
Because according to the report, once we get Caicedo, I think we are looking to another midfielder.
I've said this for years with you guys. You need a creative midfielder.
Yeah, creative midfielder. That's what Fabrizio said.
You need a James Maddison. You had it with Mason Mount, but he left. But you just need that creative midfielder. You need that De Bruyne, that Bruno Fernandes. Like Enzo as a box to box, I think is perfect. I think Caicedo as your 6 is perfect, but then you need that number 10. Really, for you guys, someone like a McAllister would have been.
Do you think Paulo Dybala will be that guy? Because I think Paulo Dybala can.
I don't think Dybala will play midfield. I think he'll play false 9. I think he'll play false 9, and you can use Jackson as a different striking option if you want to play a proper striker. Because I don't know with Dybala. I think physically, I don't sound bad inside. I think he'd get bullied in midfield. I don't know though. I think it's difficult because he plays well in Serie A. I like Dybala as a player, but I don't think he'll contribute that much if you played him as an attacking midfielder. For me, I think you guys, like I said, McAllister, Maddison, these kind of players, I think would have been perfect for you guys if you could have got one of them. I mean, I'm just trying to think, like, even in Europe, who's available to play that sort of role. I mean,
there are so many players that can play that role, but the issue is
the problem is the problem with you guys is there's not a ready-made player like that right now. You're going to have to buy potential. That's the only problem. There's not a ready-made player who's done it at the highest level or who's ready-made in there to go that you can be prepared to pay 60, 70 million pounds. You're going to have to pay that sort of figure for a potential player. That's the only problem. But I mean, I can't really honestly say that I can think of one right now off the top of my head that's a creative midfielder, but that would also suit the way that Poch wants to play. Like, you need that Dele Alli sort of profile. That's what I mean. Not Dele Alli exactly, but you need that a similar sort of profile. And I don't think there's that sort of player around. Mason Mount, I thought, would have been perfect for how Poch wanted to play. If he wanted to use Mason Mount as an attacking midfielder, that's why I was surprised that you guys all. I don't know if Poch had a say in letting Mount go or anything, but I mean, it's tough. It is tough because I think with how your midfield's shaped up, I think you've got the backing line of it with Enzo and Caicedo. I think that that really sets you up for a decade with those two. But then, like I say, you don't have that creative midfielder.
Yep. That's where the problem is, because even if we get Caicedo, who are we also getting also that can complement Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez? Because those two players cannot play all 38 matches. You have to rest them sometimes. You have to rest one of them. If you get Caicedo, you can rest Caicedo and play someone else. You can also rest Enzo sometimes and play someone else. So it depends on how Poch wants to play. Because we're not in UCL, so that could also help us in terms of one game a week. It could also help us because no UCL.
Well, one game a week and you have domestic cups, don't you? And that's
exactly. But domestic cup, we can play most of the young players until the quarterfinals.
I don't know with you guys though, because I don't. How many? I could be wrong here. You've got rid of Loftus-Cheek to Milan. You've sold a couple of midfielders, haven't you? I could be wrong. Obviously you haven't got Jorginho and that anymore. Who else have you not? So really, you've only got Enzo.
We have Gallagher, Andre Santos from the Brazilian guy. That's it.
Well, yeah, but another young player is what I'm thinking. You don't really have a lot of depth there. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Even as you're saying that you only have one game a week, it's going to be tough on those players. That's why, if you get Caicedo, really, you need to bring in another one.
Yeah.
And that's why I think Dybala's more.
I think if you can get a player just pop up, what I think is very good, Mohamed Kudus of Ajax.
Kudus, yes, that's a good player.
So
there you go.
That is
that's
the guy I'm thinking we might get because he had more creativity. He can shoot. Kudus can do so much more in that midfield where he will ease the burden on Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez because very physical. He has an high goal for goal. He can shoot also. When you give Mohamed Kudus that chance, Kudus will kill you because that's how good of a player he is. He is a technical gifted player. I like Kudus very well. Now, you are dealing with Ajax now. How much does Ajax want to? Because they just sell Julian Timber. How much do they want to sell Kudus? Not depend. But I believe, based on Austin and Fabricio, the sell Kudus might be like 45, 50, potentially 35 million. So it depends. Because
it's a fair price, though. I mean, relegated Leicester sold Maddison for, was it 45 or something like that to Spurs? So I think it's a decent price. The problem, the problem with you guys is if you're going down this model of you want to build a team that's young and then it plays together for a couple of years and then you win things. If you're going for a project, like a player like Kudus is the perfect profile to go for because they'll live through the ranks with Caicedo, Enzo, and all these other players, and they'll build that partnership in midfield. But, like I say, when you were just saying about with Dybala, for example, if you get someone like Paulo Dybala in, Dybala for me, I see more as he's an attacker, not a midfielder. That's why if you got in a Dybala, a Caicedo, and maybe another midfielder, then you're talking. Like a Kudus, for example, to play attacking midfield. The problem with you guys is you have box-to-box defensive midfield-minded players, but you don't have that creative midfielder. Like I said, you don't have a Kevin De Bruyne profile of player. Someone with the keys to unlock the power. You don't have that.
Kudus because Kudus is that guy where in that midfield where sometimes Enzo and Caicedo can just take a rest where you can play him further forward as number 8 and as a link between the 8 and the 10. Kudus is that guy when you give him the ball, he can run at you. Very technical. He can also shoot, and he has that eye for dribbling. So Kudus can do so much more in that midfield where
Yeah.
the technicality, the creativity can come in and say, okay, now we have a player where if the two midfielders, the link between Caicedo and Enzo, if their brain is not correct, somebody is in that midfield that can make a link up between them. People might say, where does Nkunku play? Kudus doesn't stop Nkunku not playing. Both of them can rotate. And now it depends on how Pochettino wants to play them together. It's all about link in the midfield. Does he want to go 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1? It depends on Poch. So that's what I'm saying. If Kudus come in,
Formation's
I'm
key.
happy because if Kudus come in and now that give me more happiness that now we have a link from the midfield to the attack. There is a link where I'll be much happier than someone that is improving. I'm a little bit skeptical. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure. But I've seen Kudus play. I'm like, okay, I know where I'm getting from Mohamed Kudus when I see him play.
That's fair. The only thing that, like I say, with you guys is you haven't had really that creativity from midfield.
Mm-hmm.
You have players who can chip in, 5 or a couple of goals each per season, but you don't have that creative spark from midfield. I've said it, for the God knows how many times. The same thing with Liverpool. If Liverpool didn't have those fullbacks, they wouldn't create half the amount of chances that they do as a team. But but if they have, like I say, that midfielder, now they have really two of those sort of players because they have McAllister who can do it, but they also have Szoboszlai who can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I can't even name a single one of your players apart from maybe Nkunku if you play him at attacking midfield. Right now in your squad, that is a designated attacking midfielder. Enzo's a box-to-box deep line creator. If you brought in Caicedo, he's probably going to be a similar player, if not more defensive-minded. So, a Dybala maybe is a creative attacker, and you can flutter him around that. And I don't think he'll cost that much money, Dybala, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, someone like a Kudus is perfect. I thought, a McAllister, a Maddison type player in your midfield to give you that creativity from the middle of the park would have been perfect. But I mean,
but I have a question for. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think this thing you're talking about. What's your name again, man?
Tom,
I always forget.
Tom.
This thing you're talking about is pie in the sky, man. It's pie in the sky. You understand? Because right now, we just need people that can come and make a change. Doesn't matter from what position. You understand? Now you're labeling these guys as deep lying players. That's what you're doing, right?
Yeah, but Enzo's not an attacking midfielder by trade.
Well, but it depends on how you define an attacking midfielder, right? It depends on the formation. It depends on the strategy. An attacking midfielder could be. There's a time when an attacking midfielder could come in the form of a box-to-box player like Frank Lampard. I don't know if you watch Frank. Did you watch Frank Lampard?
Yeah, I've seen Lampard.
Okay. You watch him play live?
Not live, no.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. So not live, but did you watch him play?
Yeah, well, we get exactly. The comparisons, the Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes sort of conversation.
There you go, type thing. No, but it doesn't have to be that perfect. So again, I know you're looking at Enzo and Caicedo as defensive options only, but you just never know. These guys could flip it around, man. If Pochettino can put them in the right place.
No, but if you bring in a Caicedo, though, that's why in terms of whenever you guys have always gone for a defensive midfielder, Caicedo and Rice fit the bill perfectly for that role. Enzo as a box-to-box as the 8 out of that sort of 3 partnership, but it depends how you want to play. If you want to play 2 8s and then play a 6, or do you want to have 1 8, 1 6 and 1 creative midfielder as a 10? But if you guys want to have more creativity, a 10 probably suits better than an 8. And the way that Poch has always set up his teams, he's had that creative midfielder. He had the Dele Alli, for example, when he built that partnership with Harry Kane as a duo. And then they brought in such as Son, which provided more goals and assists from wide.
And Tom, and you know what I feel, and this is where I'm coming in right now. I'm glad you made this point. That whatever this creative link is, right? I feel that should be Nicholas Jackson.
Mhm.
Find a way to plug him in there. He has the attributes to be that guy. He can be young Yaya Toure. I'm telling you, man, the way that guy plays, his IQ, the way he passes the ball. Listen, again, it comes with coaching. I'm not far away from it, but it comes with coaching. I don't know why we want to go play this guy as a striker. I really don't know why.
No, but like I said,
Even
like,
in his,
but because for
Go
me,
ahead.
because like I said, it depends on how Poch wants to use him. Because the report we're hearing is Poch has already told the board they should hold on when it comes to a striker number 9. He wants to work with Roger and Jackson
Jackson.
in preseason. Then he will make a decision
Mm.
Okay.
in that aspect.
No,
Because
but
he said,
but look, did you see Jackson's interview? Sorry, Abdullah. Did you see
yeah, I
Jackson's
did.
interview?
Mm-hmm.
He said he likes to play from deep.
Mm-hmm.
He likes
Yeah.
to help the team. He said
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I listened to that. He did. He did.
He
Yeah.
said he's not a guy that stands
Let,
around and waits for the ball.
let me get a word. I'm coming.
So again, I don't know what it's going to be, man. If he can be that guy, and Poch can, obviously Poch is the guy vouching for him, right? That's why we got him. I never paid attention to him. I won't lie.
Mm.
But
I don't
man.
think a lot of us did. Really,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
because
but
the way that you guys normally go for a number 9, you go for a
yeah,
big name, like you said,
exactly.
the Lukaku's, the Torre,
Exactly.
the Torreses, the Costas. That's why I thought, with the way you guys have been spending money, I was expecting you to blow at least £100 million on the table and try and get an Osimhen or somebody like that.
You know what? Everything makes sense now. If I were to go by this Nicholas Jackson's whatever interview, right? If I were to go by that testimony, everything makes sense because this is the same kind of striker that Harry Kane is. He likes to help the team. So maybe that's why Pochettino seen his kind of young potential. You never know because Harry Kane is that kind of guy. I felt Harry Kane was the best number 10 last season in the EPL.
Yeah.
You know, imagine that.
No, yeah, I mean it's fair. I mean when Kane burst onto the scene at Spurs, he was that goal scorer that got stupid numbers for goals, and then when Pochettino started developing him to play a bit more deeper and be more influential with the team, after that point he became He became more than just a goal scorer. He was he was basically the complete forward that you can have. Goals, assists, creativity from deep. If you want to drop into the pocket and then lead on for wide players, you can do that. I mean, I've not seen enough of Nicholas Jackson to make judgment on him anyway, but from what, like you just said there, Blue Ice, in terms of if he's that sort of profile where he likes to help out the team a lot more than he does just go gun ho and go for goals, then maybe it is just a version, a younger version of a Harry Kane, and he wants to profile him because really, when Pochettino got a hold of Harry Kane, it was the opposite. He was a brilliant goal scorer, but the creativity and working more into moulding him as a team player than just a goal scorer, he had to do. Whereas this case, it might be the opposite way around, and it might be a case of, well, some games you have to just go for blood, and you have to be the out-and-out goal scorer, or drop in into the pocket and help the team out. But if you like that creative midfielder, like I say, and Nicholas Jackson might do the job then if that's the sort of role that he will play. But if you're chasing a Dybala or that profile of player, then I don't really know because more creativity than instinctive goal scorers seem to be coming to your team. Because if you get Dybala in and Jackson, they don't have a prolific goal scoring record, really, either of them. Because, as you say, if Jackson's more of a team player and he likes to drop in, I don't really see that as a goal scoring sort of instinctive. And Dybala, I think, is more of a
No,
creative
but
player than
what
goal
you're
scorer.
forgetting, right? What you're forgetting, right, is that when push comes to shove, right, sometimes the way Chelsea will end up is you have 5 guys that score in double digits.
Yeah.
You understand? So you might not get one king sniper.
Yeah, you don't normally get like a 30-goal striker or something
No,
like that.
exactly. So if we can get that healthy number, if we can get Sterling scoring like in double figures, we get Madueke scoring in double figures. Mudrik, I don't know about that guy, but let's say we get him scoring in double figures. All these guys, if we get them scoring 10, 12, 11, we good. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm just so it's I think it's an easier project to manage that way than to look for that killer guy.
Well, it's low risk as well, isn't it? Because you spent was it 30 on Jackson? Like you'd have been spending 5 times that to go and get an Osimhen or a Kane. So it could save you millions in the market, really, if it does pull off to be a good signing in that respect. But even with saying that with Poch, the way that if you like, he's trying to shape the midfield. If he gets the 6 that he wants, which was, you were fluttering with Ugarte at one point, and now it looks more like it's going to be CAICEDO. Like, if you get that 6 that can cover your ass in terms of the defensive capability, really, then the midfield is looking a lot more balanced than maybe it had been, because you had a lot of different profiles of midfielders. Mounts, Gallagher's, Loftus-Cheeks, like, there were so many different profiles. Whereas if you have maybe 2, 3 designated players who suit a particular role, then it's perfect, really. And so long as that they can work together in partnership, like I think CAICEDO and Enzo, as 2 players, I think it works brilliantly. Just as I thought that someone like a Declan Rice and an Enzo would have worked perfectly.
No,
because I think they complement each other.
You're missing. Let's not take up the time. I know there's people that just came in. Listen, you're missing the point, Tom. Really quick. Not that you're missing the point, but there's something else you're missing. You're thinking getting defensive cover is the answer. That's not the answer. Defensive cover means you're inviting pressure. You need someone who can provide relief for that midfield. So you see, that's what I'm saying. It's not about that defensive cover. So that's why I said before, in CAICEDO's case, we have to be very careful before we jump and make that acquisition.
But you don't have a player who's a designated defensive midfielder right now, really.
Yeah, but you can. But if you do that, you can get a player that can do 2. You see, that's the thing.
Yeah. CAICEDO can be more than a defensive midfielder.
No,
but what I'm saying is you don't have one at all.
Hold on. You can get a player that can do 2 of them for cheaper. You can. You can get a player that can create and that can defend as a 6. That's what I'm trying to say, Tom. So it's not like I don't know if you understand what I mean.
No, I understand what you're saying in terms of like I say, it depends on the profile of player, but also it depends on how Pochettino wants to play. And if, like I say, if he wants to go back to his roots with what he did with Spurs, most instinctively, I think a creative midfielder would probably be on his bucket list right now, because really, aside from, as you say, you have a couple of players who chip in goals here and there, you don't really have that instinctive creative midfielder that is in your team.
I tell you where I stand. I'm not sold on, and I know this is contrary to general belief, and I know I'm going to get called out for this. I'm not sold on CAICEDO yet. Everybody knows. I'm not sold on CAICEDO yet. I've made it clear. Not that I'm not sold on CAICEDO. Like, I want to be really, really, really. Listen, when we got Kante after winning the EPL with Leicester, I was still looking at him somehow first. I'll tell you the truth. When we got Kante,
you know if you were a one-season wonder or.
I wasn't comfortable. It took me a couple games. It took me a couple big games. I'm like, okay. So, and then CAICEDO, man, I just want to make sure that this is the guy. If he's coming in as a 6 or a 4 and he's being that defensive guy, fine. What kind of defensive guy is he? Is he a guy coming in to put out fires? Fine. Let's establish that. Let's not get him caught up in a dual functionality where he can't do either. And at the end of the day, you got the player running all over the place. So if he's a putting out the fire kind of guy, let's put him there. And then put him next to a guy who can create effortlessly from deep. And the word here, the operational word here is effortlessly. It's not the guy that will get the ball and touch it with the left, touch it with the right, dress it up, put lipstick before he kicked the ball. No. Someone that can just engage the attack without even thinking. Because when you do that, you provide so much. Your pivot is just functioning like what do you call it? Remember bicycle those days? Chopper versus rally. Not chopper BMX versus BMX. You want that pivot flowing. So again, it's not. I don't think it's rocket science. If he's coming in, let him come in to be the guy. Let's not get him all confused to be this number 10 or whatever. If he's coming in to be a number 4, let him be a number 4 and settle down, do that job, and then we know what we're doing with our banker. Enzo. Somebody take over.
Yeah, good lad. Give us your thoughts on CAICEDO if you're there.
My brother, Gula, assalamu alaikum to you.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Tom. Salam alaikum, Abdullah. Hello, everybody.
Firstly,
well done.
Go ahead, Mr. Mike. Firstly, because this is the way I'm thinking now. I'm annoyed with Brighton institution. I'm not annoyed with Musica because I rate CAICEDO very highly. But Brighton has scammed us twice. And in my country, you know, when they scam you once, you go say, okay, I go take up for body. Twice, I'm a bit skeptical. Now, when they become 3, it's a big problem. Brighton has done it with Cucurella, Porter. Now they want to do us with CAICEDO. They are demanding 100 million for CAICEDO, which I believe it does not worth that money. Max is 60. But because of the way the market is, Enzo for 120, Declan Rice for 105. For Declan Rice for me, I believe because of the market and everything, the money worth it because of the body of work. I always say body of work in everything when I talk football a lot. CAICEDO, I just played 1 season, which for me, I still think I need to see one more or two more seasons from Moises CAICEDO for me to justify that price tag. But it's Brighton. And the way the market is right now, 100 million for CAICEDO, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy on Christ. It's someone I rate very highly. But that money, I'm skeptical. I'm very, very skeptical with CAICEDO when it comes to that price of money. Not the player.
Oh, so I'm not alone. Oh, okay.
Not with the money, not with the player, but the money.
No, you're absolutely right, guys and Abdullah. It's a very interesting conundrum that whenever Chelsea have to go for a player, everybody wants to put toppings on top of toppings in terms of sale. Like it's very strange. It's very weird. I think we had the same issue with Onana. We must have flirted with the situation when it came to Onana before actually Man United bid for him. And I think, because Tom was here and he's a journalist, he can correct me if I'm wrong. I think they must have pushed us up to a price range of around 70 million before we even for Onana. Onana, yes.
And they did that because
I heard from Fabrizio that Chelsea didn't even inquire about Onana.
We didn't even inquire that. But DiMarzio said we did 3 deals for Onana. That was what Chelsea walk away.
Wow.
They just walk away.
I think
it was like flirting, Emmy. It wasn't like we actually went there and made direct contact.
We asked
asked.
People asked how far. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you going online shopping.
You know, so if you want to buy market for Nigeria, when you go to, those vendors select to go see and buy. When you go inside, I beg, how much be this clothes? 100,000. Can I price it? If it's too much, you just walk away. I don't get that money. So it can happen that way.
You say you fresh from yard. Hi. Abdullah, don't drink kunu, chop suya, chop everything.
I don't go to
take care of you finish. Chop beans and rice, jollof rice. Plenty. Say you're fresh.
Mr. Guru, don't mind them. Just talk.
Yes. No, it's fine. We can all see the glow, Abdullah. Mashallah.
I'm telling
you, the chop.
Your face is clear.
You the chop dio, mashallah.
You chop well. I can't tell.
It looked like you went and you baptized yourself in some river and you came back fresh.
I left Chelsea Football Club because they want to finish me. Chelsea want to finish me. So I prefer to just take a break.
No, I don't blame you, Abdullah. No, but it's true because you guys even can agree. Like, even though we as Chelsea fans finished in 12th position last season, I don't know because I've been watching this for the last few weeks, but I kept on saying, "Oh, maybe it's just a one-off." Anybody that we want to touch or inquire, the money goes up.
Yeah, it's
Any
normal
other team,
because a big
yeah,
club,
and
we're a big club, and they know
that's what I'm saying.
we just got new owner. Chelsea just spent 600 million pounds in two windows, right? Last two windows. So anybody Chelsea is trying to buy now, if the regular club will probably pay 50, they'll make it 70 just because it's Chelsea.
Yep, I'm glad that we didn't lose that fear factor that we had, despite our position. But in terms of Caicedo, guys, because even Fabrizio must have said it, and I think Tom must have known something because he's a journalist. They said that this is direct contact between two clubs.
Yes.
In this case, what it means is it's behind closed doors.
Yes.
Our representative against their representative.
Correct.
There is no news coming out.
Nope.
It's very hard to get anything out of there, right? So Fabrizio even
Just
must
they're
have said that.
recycling news.
Yes, and he said that I think his last tweet today in the evening was that he said that most of the Chelsea fans are inquiring about this Caicedo situation, and he said that he contacted his sources this morning, and they said that the talks are ongoing, right? As you guys said, I don't believe he's 100 million. I do not believe that.
Me too.
Right?
I don't.
But the issue is now that we have been, we took Win Stanley from them, the sporting director. We took Cucurella from them, and apparently Todd Bowley and Bloom somehow have a good relationship, somewhat of a good relationship. They must have had dinner together before Cucurella and so on. So
because
I think
Chelsea paid off Cucurella's this, they paid it off.
Yes, and it was all done in a dinner.
They paid cash or something for that.
Yeah, basically Todd Bowley invited Bloom for a dinner because you remember Man City wanted to get Cucurella, and then in that dinner, I don't know what they spoke about. Cucurella was sold, and Bloom was sold, and he is. But this is the optimism that I have now in terms of this price tag. I think it's going to be 80 to 85 million. But the issue that is stopping the deal from going on is the fact that because of this FFP issue that we have, I think Chelsea are trying to spread the payment method to 3 to 4 payments. But Brighton want a lump sum up front. Right? So if look, there is an advantage and there's a disadvantage. The advantage is if it goes up to 100 million, then they wouldn't mind us having the upper hand in terms of how do we want to process the payment. Is it going to be 2 payments? Is it going to be 3 payments? The ball is going to be in our court. But because it's 80 to 85 million, knowing what Arsenal did with Declan Rice, and now that they're already sniffing around Chouameni, right? And you guys heard the sources, where they actually made an undercover bid of 80 million to Real Madrid without anybody knowing. And Real Madrid automatically rejected. But nobody knew about that bid. You know what I'm saying? So now that everything is coming to light, they're trying to, in a way, play hardball with us. So they want the payment to be structured within 2 payments, with the first payment being a big lump sum. But I think Chelsea is trying to extend the payment structure. So I think this is what's this is what's causing the issue. But I personally think if we add an extra 10 million, right, the deal will be done. Let's come to the middle. They might be flirting with the fact, okay, 100 million, that could be a bit too much for us. We're already ready to offer you 80 with 5 add-ons. If we give them 80 with 15 add-ons, they'll be happy. I think so, personally. Right? So I think this is a case of our club.
Guled, can I just make a comment in reflection to what you just said?
Go ahead.
Yes, so guys.
The problem it's not the problem, but to fully understand this Caicedo deal shouldn't be just based on financial value. You also have to look at his style of pace.
It's true.
The way he plays the game.
Yeah.
And I know people will say he foots the bill, right? People will probably say he foots the bill the way he plays, but I don't know, man.
Guys, you hit the nail on the head because the issue with us as Chelsea supporters, I think from this season onwards, is going to be that the players that we already are going to acquire are going to be merely based on potential or a 1 season, 2 season CV. That's the biggest issue we have right now. All the players we bought, it seems like they're tailor-made to be potential stars. Or in terms of experience, if we look at our squad, in terms of the players we bought, we can say, apart from all the recruits we got, the most experienced one is Enzo, correct?
And Enzo
And
has
Enzo
not
is,
played a year in European football.
Stop.
thank you.
Please don't say that. Please don't say that loud. Please. Don't say
No,
that
it's true.
loud.
It's a fact.
It's true. It's true. It's true. He only played.
That's not a fact.
No. In terms of guys, not in total, not in his time in River Plate, but in terms of European experience, right? Like in terms of elite football, in terms of Europe, he only played. Was it 8 months to 9 months for Benfica?
No, he played 5
And then-
months.
5 months.
It's not up to 5 months. He
Is
came
it
in
5 months?
August. He came in August and he was gone in December, right?
In
After he won
January.
the World
Yeah,
Cup.
It was gonna
January,
be-
January.
January, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So it's like
So-
it's the same thing as a kid from the Enyimba that gets called to national team to play World Cup.
No, it's different. Eyimba.
Bless, bro. Respect the Imba, bless, respect.
No. But it happens. When you tell me-
MPFL, bless, respect our MPFL.
You don't get what I'm saying. That you also call local players to join the national team to go play World Cup, and sometimes they win.
Child.
So the fact that he was part of the World Cup team, and then you play behind.
Bless, don't say it loud. Chioma is talking to you.
He's laughing. And the fact that you're playing behind Justin Timberlake of Insane. You understand? You play behind Messi. Why won't you shine?
Child, bless, don't do it. But I get
So
you.
now,
I get you.
anyways, keep
I
going.
get
Keep
you.
sorry.
Go let's round up so I'll be able to put on other guys.
Yeah. So in terms of Caicedo's experience, right? I know. Like this guy only had 1 season, and let's be completely honest, this guy overachieved within 1 season. He literally overachieved within 1 season. So it's still a gamble, but in terms of the position that we want to get him for, right? I think I'm not sure, but I think he's a defensive midfielder. He's going to be either a 6. Yeah, he's going to be a 6. He played before as an 8 when Brighton had injuries at the beginning of the season. But his main position is a number 6.
Who is that?
So since Caicedo,
Well, Caicedo is not a sitting 6 though.
He's not a sitting 6.
you're right. But for us,
deserve to play him as a sitting 6.
He's not going to be. He's not going to be a
This is the
sitting
first
6
time
for
I-
Chelsea either.
This is the first time I'm hearing this term. Sitting
He's not-
6. Okay.
Yeah, he's not a
Sitting
sitting
six.
6. A sitting 6
Yeah.
This is new,
a
man.
player that plays
Okay.
as a single pivot and just sits right in front of the 2 center backs, right?
So is there a standing 6?
It's the same thing, sitting 6, standing 6. Yeah, it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same.
yeah, basically a destroyer. Basically a
Yeah.
destroyer, guys.
Yeah, he
So what is Jorginho? What is Jorginho?
yeah,
Jorginho is a register.
Jorginho is a register.
He's a
So
register
Jorginho
player.
is a standing
Someone
6
like
that can-
Declan Rice
that can
is the
control.
one that
So
I'm talking about.
the
is
difference
sitting 6.
between Jorginho and Declan Rice is Jorginho as a standing or a sitting 6 controls the tempo of the game from that deep position. Declan Rice on the other side is a standing 6 that just knows how to break up play, right? He knows how to defend, and actually sometimes he kickstarts an attack. Either he makes his long ball passes, but in a counter-attacking system, I always like to say that because there's a difference. You play counter-attacking football, it's different from playing possession football. Like Jorginho is a unique player because he's a standing 6 that likes to touch the ball at least 70 to almost 100 times every match. That's
Yeah,
how-
he's a hybrid between Declan Rice and Caicedo.
that is so difficult to do. I swear, if I pass the ball to you 100 times, even without pressure, I bet you at least 40 times you mispass, you either mispass the ball and you're passing to Konzo, You either mispass the ball or you get tired. It's a very Jorginho is a very solid. He's a unique kind of footballer. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, just to close, Abdullah.
Just
Yeah,
add Jorginho and Declan are now in the same team. Oh boy.
yeah. Which means now Jorginho is gonna have more freedom.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to play that position again.
I would like to see how Arsenal set up with Jorginho and Declan Rice and Partey.
Jorge with Orisa Sativa. Hey.
Relax. Let me come to Olua. Olua.
Hey, Olua is here.
Moses Caicedo.
Olua, welcome.
Writing to Chelsea.
Where the hell have you been?
100 million. Does it worth it or not? Or do you just think let's pay the money and effort?
Olua, where you go hide says.
Olua, unmute your Michael.
Aki at the weak key.
I think Olua is muted. Abdul, Moses Caicedo. Does it worth 100 million? But for me, I don't think we're gonna pay the money. We'll come to a compromise. But the report I have 100 million for Moses Caicedo. That's what Brighton are demanding. And this is a controversial statement by Brighton Tony Bloom. He came out and said it. He said he's a better player than Declan Rice, so he deserves 100 million. Which that is a stretch. I don't think so. But we can have that. I do not think it's better than Declan Rice. We'll see. I don't think so.
Yeah. Abdul, before you go, I just want to ask you guys a question, everyone in the panel.
Mm-hmm.
If in comparison to this season that just finished, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say half of last season, in terms of form, only form, who had a better form, Caicedo or Declan Rice?
Declan Rice for me.
Declan Rice, man, come
Declan
on.
Rice.
Stop.
I don't get it because the reason I say that is because yes, it's playing under David Moyes a counter-attacking system, but Declan Rice himself does more for me than Moises Caicedo because Caicedo only seen one season. Rice has been playing close to 3 seasons where he has that consistency in him. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna play 100 million to someone, you can pay to Declan because you have that body of work in Declan Rice. The body of work of Caicedo just for 1 season, which is a big risk. Can the risk work? Yes. But that's a lot of money to pay for someone like Moises Caicedo, who I rate very highly. But
Abdullah,
1 season, I'm a little bit not sure on that.
The reason why I asked that question, right, is because as you said, in terms of experience, Declan Rice have 2 more years on top, if in comparison to Caicedo. But people can actually have a genuine debate about who actually had a better season. If we take off the Europa League and we just look at the league only, right? So if this guy can do this within 1 year, then what would you think his trajectory is going to look like in 2 or 3?
You want to put me in a spot where I don't want to do it, but Moises Caicedo for me, like I said, I rate him very highly. But I need to see consistency with Caicedo where I can have that debate with him and Declan Rice because the Zerbi is a possession-based system where you put Caicedo in a possession-based system, it thrives out. Even if playing under Potter, where I don't think Potter was a possession system based, more of a counter, but he still played under Potter where he played very well too. So if Caicedo can play 2 seasons back to back, like I say, he comes to Chelsea with the way possession wants to play, he has that consistency in him and they play very well. And it's been talked about now. I can have that discussion with Declan because I don't want to have that discussion with Rice because Rice has had that body of work, which Moises Caicedo hasn't had yet. That's with me.
Fair enough.
Player for me.
Sorry guys, how's everyone doing?
Olua, welcome
Olua.
back.
Olua, welcome.
You always talk like an American guy. Last night, all of us get money.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I just wanted to just chip in 1 or 2 with regards to Caicedo talk.
As King Black joined. King Black has joined. Because of Olua.
Okay. I think let's be serious here. If not for the World Cup, probably this season, we won't be talking about Caicedo as a player. And I think it's very disrespectful when we're comparing him and Declan Rice. Declan Rice has been consistent. He's been consistent for like 5 years now since he's been playing from 2017. Yes, he's not coming to Chelsea. He's going to Arsenal. Caicedo might come to Chelsea. So obviously we're trying to console ourselves. I'm sorry, but look, I don't think he's in the same league with what's his name, Declan Rice. He had a good season and that's it. and I'm optimistic he will have a good season with Chelsea if he eventually comes. But let's not act like as if he's on par with Declan Rice, please.
But do you think he worth that money? Because I don't think he worth 100 million. I'm sorry, I do not.
And that's what I'm trying to say. For Declan Rice, he's been consistent. He's English, is Western captain. He's British as well. Like you can say all the tax, British tax. In a way, you can say he's Declan Rice might what's the amount, but for Caicedo, no, he doesn't. Let's be real. And you can say that's the market, that's the value. Well, that's just the way we do business. I think Liverpool got the other Argentine player for less, if not half of the price.
He has a release clause, yeah.
Okay, fine. But like I think we're not doing business very smart when it comes to Caicedo. But for me, if that's the price, we need midfielders, we need players. I don't honestly, for me, it doesn't want the amount, but if that's the amount, we'll go for him. Like it's just unfortunate because we don't have depth. We need to buy players. We don't have midfielders. So I still feel we need more quality than just Caicedo.
Because for me, because I want us to move over, so we'll be put more of that topic. But for me, like I said, I stress this a lot. Body of work is very important for me when I watch midfielder play. Because Caicedo one season for me, I'm not paying that money. That's a risk.
It's just no offense again. Like it's just like you're saying Danny Drinkwater as well. Like he had a fantastic season with Leicester City. He came to Chelsea and he was a shadow of himself. But like I said, I hope this guy does play very good for Chelsea. I'm very optimistic. Fingers crossed. But for me, I'm just being optimistic. We'll see.
Abdul, quick. Moses Caicedo.
Yeah, big up everyone. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Big up, Abdul.
Yeah.
Well done.
Big up, bros. Oluwa, nice to have you back again. Well, it's been a while. Hope you've been having fun over the summer. So, okay. This is a very interesting topic. And I would initially like to answer that question or that that question Gullet threw up between Caicedo and Declan Rice. Look, either we like it or not, no matter how we want to assess it, in terms of the Premier League, people like to see Declan Rice. People like to see Declan Rice. English, white, West Ham, ex-Chelsea, national player, all and all. So people like to see Declan Rice. It doesn't really matter, maybe you agree with it or not.
No, I just
Preach, Abdul, preach.
But for you to see Caicedo, you actually have to go and watch him. You only see Caicedo when he's been watched. This is not me talking. These are theory people are pulling out. Okay. And this tells you football is growing every day because even intellectually, scientifically, it's growing. But then, if you put it down to their football that they are playing, they are going to divide opinions. Let's not. Some would prefer Caicedo, some would prefer Declan Rice. There's nothing Declan Rice does that Caicedo cannot do. There's nothing Caicedo does that Declan Rice does that Caicedo cannot do. There's nothing Caicedo does that Declan Rice cannot do. We are talking about being a holding midfielder. Now, are they overrated in terms of the price? Are they overpriced? In my own opinion, I think they are both overpriced.
Absolutely.
But that comes with the territory. But another thing is, Chelsea is going to get more value from signing any player. Reason? Because of the ingenious of Todd Boehly. You see, after Todd Boehly did his second deal for Chelsea, I think it was Koulibaly, I I said it then. I think I like this guy. He's a thoroughbred American businessman. You see the problem why everybody when they want to transact with Chelsea, they will add extra 10 million, extra 20 million because they know it. They are convinced that the approach of Todd Bowley means he's always going to get the better end of the bargain. Reason 8-year contract, 9-year contract. The only contract the only timeline we've not had or duration of contract we've not had given to a player by Chelsea is 10 years. So if you look at it, they know Chelsea is Chelsea is always going to get the better side of the bargain. Because
Abdul,
look at
I'm sorry to interject, Abdul, but we could have given them 10 years, but FFP stopped us. But continue.
Fine. No. They stopped Todd Bowley. They didn't stop us. They stopped Todd Bowley. Remember, Gulad, if you can remember, this FFP was actually introduced to stop Roman Abramovich from dominating.
It's true. Yeah.
There was no FFP before. So they are now designing this, whatever they're designing, to stop Todd Bowley.
It's true.
Okay? So even if you look at it at 100 million, let's say we paid that 100 million, but we're going to give the kid 8-year, 9-year contract.
Yeah.
So that's like just 10 million per year. So Todd Bowley will always get, because of he's just ready to take that extra risk of offering extended 3-year, 4-year addition on top of their contract. Okay, is always going to get the better end of the transaction. So these guys, they don't want to let go. You know, when you know somebody who is a businessman, and because they are ready to take extra risk, you know they're going to get more. So there's element of jealousy, envy, but you cannot take the risk. But because they are ready to take just that extra risk, it means the deal will always be in our favor. How much do you buy Bellingham? Real Madrid buy Bellingham.
18 million plus. It's gonna rise add-ons.
No, 100, pretty much
100.
100
Okay.
euro.
Okay. Let's even put it between 80 and 100. What's the duration of his contract? 5 years.
No, 9 years. 9 years.
Is it
2029.
I've not heard that, to be honest.
No,
2029.
That's 6 years, Abdullahi.
Is it 6 years or
6
9
years,
years?
6 years.
Is it 6
So-
2029, 6 years.
We're in 2020, Abdullahi. We're not in 2020. We're in 2022, sorry. We're not in
Abdullah is in 2040.
So
Abdullahi,
let's use that.
Nigeria way go. Hey,
Let's use that as an example. Let's use that as an example. Bellingham for 100 million, he signed for 6 years. If that was Todd Bowley's transaction, he will be signed for 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
So who's getting better return on his investment? That will be Chelsea. If Todd Bowley signed
It depends, but you're
Abdul,
still carrying the highest risk.
Yeah.
Sorry?
You're carrying the highest risk because if the God forbid, if anything happens,
that is what I am saying. All those other guys are not ready to take that risk, but just because of that small risk, Todd Bowley is ready to take.
It's not small, though.
Hold on, now, you know what we're talking about. You can always spin these things, okay?
Yeah.
But because of that extra risk he's ready to take, okay, he's getting more returns for his own investment. And those other people are envious about it. They don't like it. They don't want to go down that route. So they add a bit extra because he will always get a better side of the deal. That deal will be of more benefits to him. Now, even if he wants to sell, even if he buys this Caicedo for 100 million and he gives me a 9-year contract, okay, if he wants to sell him after like 4 or 5 years, Chelsea will be able to even bargain more because he will still be left with like 3-4 years in his contract.
Amen. That's the whole prayer.
So
That's
the whole
the prayer,
thing
my
is,
brother.
the thing is,
Abdul, basically, this guy is like the Pablo Escobar of the Premier League.
well, I mean, if you want to blackwash him, you can call him Pablo Escobar. But if you want to whitewash him, he's Harvard intelligent.
No, he's just. All I'm saying is this: if for him, nobody's saying he's not going to work. I'm just saying, is he the right profile? That's all. Go ahead.
Yes, in terms of business, yes, you're right. That's the right question to ask, guys. But I think Todd Bowley, the way he's seeing it is, and I think Abdul made an interesting point, which is, if all these players that we bought now, that we gave 7, 8, 9 year contracts, if they start banging in 3, right, the Premier League is in trouble.
Obviously,
The Premier League is in trouble.
That's the
That's what they're scared about.
Exactly. No, that's the whole. Listen, that's what we're seeing right now. Right, is planting seeds. Some of them will grow, some of them will not grow, and as they keep growing, it's the Todd Bowley and his team's responsibility to keep pruning the garden so that it becomes a farm, and from a farm it grows into whatever it can grow into. So we know that.
But Blue Eyes, I'm sorry, like that
Yeah,
that
no
could be said as well, which you got Gullet's point as well. Other clubs as well could have players that can, you know, that could do well as well in years to come. It's not just for Chelsea. You know, let's not sound like I see the Chelsea's only club has got potential players.
Yeah.
Arsenal, for example.
Exactly.
Arsenal, for example, they have
Newcastle.
Saka, Martinelli, they are young players, all they got that can also
Newcastle
do well.
too.
You know, that can get better as well. So it's not just about
And
Chelsea
they're doing
players.
it. They're doing it while winning.
Thank you. They're already doing it already. So
Yeah.
you know, we need to be objective in looking at things in a larger scale, not just from a Chelsea perspective.
Good.
No, but that is you saying, let's make a prediction. We don't know. Things might work out fine for them. Things might work out worse for us. Things might work out fine for us. It might work out worse for them. You know, it's all part of the game. Okay. So, but the thing is, okay. So to me, as a defensive midfielder, neither of let me just go to CAICEDO because Rice is not our player. As a defensive midfielder, he hasn't shown me anything to show that he's a special player. And the way I know a special DM is how imposing can you be. I'm talking about a DM, not a register. A DM, as a DM, it's not imposing enough. But then the take is, hold on 2 seconds, please. But then the thing is, most of these players don't even yet know themselves. Okay, Pochettino might wake up tomorrow and think like, no, CAICEDO is actually not a DM. He's a left back, and he start playing in left back, and he will start blossoming from there. So because they are that young, so they might be playing certain roles now, but the role they have is still yet to be a permanent label on them as footballers. So in as much as we can say, okay, DM, okay, it still looks like average. I'm not saying it's not good, but okay, he still can still be developed, and he's a DM, okay. But I've not seen like a Yaya Toure in him or a Patrick Vieira, or I've not even seen a Mikel Obi in him.
They don't make those kind of players anymore, Abdul.
You get my point? I've not even seen a Mikel Obi in him. This is all, and it's all subjective because he's only 22, and it's only somebody said he's only played 1 season in the Premier League. So it's all subjective. He can turn up next season and be totally devastating. I mean, what's it called? Dele Alli came from nowhere, and it was impressive.
He came from NK Dons.
Exactly. I was thinking about it. I was having a discussion with somebody the other day. We're actually not talking. What is most significant about Bellingham? We're actually missing it. That this guy has just gone from Birmingham City Championship to Real Madrid in how many seasons? Skipping the Premier League.
Yeah, in 3 seasons. He never played for the Premier League. Yeah, true.
That's the most critical thing about this player. How did he do it? It's almost magical what he's done.
In 2019, Birmingham was in
He was. That's a very good point.
Birmingham City.
I can tell you why.
Ahead,
it is because that's a fantastic comment. It is because there is a high. This might sound like an oxymoron. There is a high shortage of that mold of player in that position in world football today.
Amen.
Yeah, that's not true.
Supply and demand.
That's
from
not true, but
I can
uh,
call you
Eh,
like
no, no,
five
and
at
no.
least, very five
No,
that's
but
people
the
not
that
true,
thing
can
is,
do
bro.
that.
But no
hold on.
comment.
Let me say something. Let me finish. The demand and supply in that position, right? There's
Mhm.
many. I always say it on Abdullah's stream.
Mm,
Many are called, but a few are chosen.
mhm.
So when
Amen.
I say that there's only a very few, there are only a very few. You can probably name five that are actually in current rotation right now,
Rotation, that's a big word.
like that are cooking right now in that position, in that mold, in
They're not
that
even up to
profile.
five or guys, to be
They're
honest.
not. Yes, they're not up to five in that profile. No way. That profile is a
No, no.
shield. You
What Blue Eyes?
Jude,
What Blue Eyes
Jude
is saying?
Bellingham.
I'm not. What Blue Eyes is saying, I'm not going to dispute it. Okay, but for him to have that belief, that confidence, and for somebody
mm,
to guide him
that's
through
true.
that route
That's true.
from Championship
Oh,
to Real Madrid, guys,
you cannot judge that
have
one.
you forgot? Have you
Absolutely.
forgotten what Real Madrid is?
Absolutely. You cannot judge that, my brother. You cannot listen, Abdullah. You cannot Abdul. You cannot measure that one. That one is in the. Thank you. That's another big point. It's in the player himself and his
You
age. It's true.
exactly. He go from Championship to Real
It's true.
Madrid. Have I even heard of that before? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared for Jude Bellingham. The pressure is going to be a lot on him.
No.
No. The
That
guy,
position
you
is
Fair
very
will be
enough.
unnecessary.
surprised.
So
That position, that
let
position,
me quick, I said it
man.
before we move on to the next one because
Yeah, man.
I wanna talk one big one, but I will leave it towards
Moises Caicedo. See,
talk.
I
Mhm.
like this guy. I think he fits the profile we're looking for. Although, Blas will say, let me don't come again. Don't start to sell him egg and in buns for streets. See, this guy and Enzo will complement each other. I think that's something I'm looking. I'm not going to look at this guy in isolation. I'm looking at this guy as a solution, right? Does he solve the midfield conundrum that Chelsea currently will be having? Especially with just Enzo. I think he definitely improves our midfield. He adds value to our midfield. Um, is he good? So these are the questions I asked myself about this guy. Is he is he going to fit our style? Because with Pochettino wants to play possession football. I think the answer is yes. He played possession football under the Zerbi last season. Fantastic movement of the ball, his ability to find space, pocket of space, advance the ball. He's a threat in both boxes, right? So that ticks the box, right? Um, is he good in a double pivot? Yes, last season he played a double pivot at Brighton, right? The same double pivot we're looking to play this season. So we're not going to play him as a sole pivot, right, in our midfield. He's going to play as as a double pivot with Enzo. One moves, stays, one stays, the other one moves, right? So they're going to be able to be a partnership. So in everything, and also he's South American. He's from a very humble background. He's hungry. He wants to really prove himself. The only mistake he made was signing that contract in March, right? Contract because that's what
Because they
Brighton.
promised him that was the reason he signed. They had
Yeah,
a
but you know
promise.
one thing about these promises. Promises that's mouths, man. If there's promise, let it be on paper. Okay, you're promising me that I can leave. How much would I leave for? Right? Then I'll sign the contract.
Because I think the mistake it should have been a release clause, which is like
That's what I'm
almost
saying.
easier.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Mhm.
No, but
If
it's none of his business how much he leaves for, as
no,
long as he
it
leaves.
is. If you want me to sign a contract, he just signed. He just joined Brighton in the summer last year, right?
But Amy,
Yeah.
what does that tell you about Chelsea as a football club? We knew we're going to get rid of Deadwoods in midfield. Then we didn't make move on this guy before he signed the contract. So I don't
No, we
understand.
did. We
We
did in
did.
January.
They rejected us
Yeah,
in
they
January.
rejected the bid. Yeah, we
Yeah, but
actually were
why don't
ready.
Chelsea have a conversation with him that won't enable him go for that contract? Because
I
that won't
think
No,
kill
I
see,
think
Chelsea.
right. So let me go back. Let's go back in time, right? Let's do the
Okay.
timeline, right? In January, Chelsea actually identified Moises Caicedo before they even thought about Enzo Fernandez. They wanted their prime target in January was Moises Caicedo. Um, Arsenal was fighting for the Premier League at that time. Arsenal was also pushing for this guy. At some point, Arsenal now left the race. Chelsea now continued. I think Chelsea was ready to go with as much as 85 million pounds in January, and it was a well-structured deal. The problem was, Brighton said no, that they can't sell their best because they already sold Trossard in January. They also lost, I think they lost someone else. I think they lost two of their key players in January transfer window. And they were looking at, there are about 18 to 20 games left. And when we have, the World Cup is over.
Bissouma.
Yeah, they lost.
Yeah, that was last summer.
And they knew they were going to lose McAllister too. So guess what? If they sold Caicedo, McAllister will push to move because McAllister just won the World Cup, right? He had suitors too. So they didn't want to lose a lot of their players. They slammed £100 million on
But Amy,
Caicedo's head.
if I also ask
in
you
January.
today, would you see Man City do such business like this? Yeah, I'm just will Man City do business like this the way we do our business? You know, they're going to sign Caicedo.
Man City does they do like a kid that goes to Kingsway. I don't know if you know Kingsway back in the day, or Park and Shop. Yeah, they just show up. They're not down to bargain. They'll just see how much they paid for. See how much they're going to pay for Vardiol. They're going to pay almost 85 million euros for a 21-year-old defender that has not played, consistently in Europe for 2 seasons, right? Vardiol just broke free last year. So they're ready to pay 85, 90 million for that guy. So Man City is not a good yardstick for a good bargainer. We had a good bargainer in Marina. It's just that she took a little more time, right? With the way the market is these days, you cannot, if you snooze, you lose. And there are not many quality players in the market these days, right? That are looking to move. So there's not a third force in the Saudi league, right? Whether I would like it or not, they are the third force. They're actually going to be there for a long time.
Emi, can I just quickly ask Oluwa one question? Sorry, what's wrong with the deal with the Caicedo deal?
Me, I got no problem with the deal because we're depleted at this point in time. So I'm not against the deal. I just said comparing him to Declan Rice for me is a no. I was like, yeah, let's get him. Like for me, it's fine. Let's get the player. I just said we needed more player than Caicedo in midfield. Considering we've lost about 4 midfielders, we need more than just Caicedo in midfield.
Oh no. I agree with you because we had Chelsea for the past 3-4 seasons. I've had 3 principal midfielders, and all those midfielders have left.
Yeah.
I've only replaced them with 1. So we only have, if you look at it now, in football terms, Chelsea only has 1 midfielder. So
we need to include Gallagher as well.
We need to get a lot of midfielders. In my own opinion, although I wouldn't say Declan Rice is too high up there.
No, he is. Only if you want to.
No. That's why I agree that some people will go with Declan Rice. Okay, but the thing is, if this kid gets the proper coaching and he has the right temperament, okay, he can easily become one of the best midfielders.
Yeah, that could be said as well as for Declan Rice as well. It could be better than what he is.
Yeah. That's the advantage both of them hold because they are still very young and they're still evolving.
And he's much younger than Declan Rice. So, like I said, I'm not against the deal. If he comes to Chelsea, that would be great. I just feel we need quality in our team. We've lost too much quality.
Caicedo improves that midfield, Olua, right?
Oh yes, because we don't even have midfielders. So definitely,
no. Midfielder.
Yeah,
we don't even have midfielders. So anyone that comes in is going to improve our team. What we have is Gallagher.
We only have not even Gallagher. We only have 1 midfielder.
Gala, Lord have mercy.
No, but
Gala.
I just listen, guys. I don't take this the wrong way. I'm tired of cement mixers. I want architects.
Yeah, I think Chelsea is going to get an architect. I guess he's talking about a creative midfielder that can actually open up
you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to be too much of a creative guy, but to have that threat in you, so that the opposition will always double dare you. There's always 2 people coming your way, because it means there is space for you to create an overlap.
Yeah.
I'm
But
sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of all this piecemealing in the midfield.
no. But the thing is, 2023. Where is the architect?
I know. I know.
They're not there. They're not there.
Yeah.
So,
They're
guys,
not there
let's move
in
on to
the
the
age
next
group.
topic.
In the age group we're looking at, that they're not there. Well, I
I
don't
think
think they're there anyway.
Odegaard
So
is doing that for
relax.
Arsenal.
Let's move on. So,
Oh,
Guled,
definitely
let me
an
come to you. Guled is official. Our new sponsorship is gonna be. It's already announced. No, without
K
uh
K is here.
without what's called without the sponsorship. So,
I
but
knew K will
according to
come
the
because
reports
Oluwa is here.
from the Chelsea side, before the Liverpool match, a new sponsorship should be agreed. But there's also a news where they are looking at so many sponsorship, maybe like Netflix, Ford, so many of them who's gonna be the new sponsorship. But based on what has been put out on the TL, this is the new official Chelsea website sponsorship. Give me a take, Mr. Guled.
We don't actually have an official sponsorship yet, right?
Yeah, we don't, but it will be announced before the Liverpool match.
To be honest with you, in terms of the kit, I know this is supposed to be to commiserate Gianluca Vialli's season,
Yes,
and when we won, and even in the picture you can see, I think Dennis Wise
Dennis
and
Watt and Roberto Di
Roberto
Matteo.
Di Matteo. Yeah, so I think it's a good touch. This is why I think they went for the color.
Nice.
And
I didn't know this. Nice. Okay.
yes, and yesterday as well, oh guys, was Gianluca Vialli's birthday.
It
So
was his birthday.
yeah, so
Happy birthday.
I think that was a pivotal season, because that was his transition from being a player to being a player coach the next season.
And
for
Chelsea
us.
won the Super Cup, right? And
And
the,
the
Yeah.
Super Cup, yeah.
and the
Yeah.
what do you call
League
it? The
Cup.
Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of the home kit,
Wait,
I
let
was
me ask
actually
you one.
surprised.
Did you ever have that radio? That radio? Did you? I had that
JVC,
radio.
Guled, keep
JVC.
talking.
No,
Are
that's
you
the radio
asking me?
now.
Sorry, which radio is that?
This one.
JVC
That has,
No, that's
Yes,
double cassette now.
Double
yes,
cassette,
now
yeah.
double
Yeah,
cassette.
Big boy, you're a
You
big boy. You have to have a
Double
studio.
cassette, double cassette.
you put it on record, play and pause. When they
Yeah.
play your good music, you're on pause and let it record.
Relax.
Nah, man, forget
No,
about
Emmy,
man.
no,
This was the
Emmy,
Ish Coco back in the days, man.
Emmy is
Chai.
practically telling you. No,
Well
guys,
said,
Chai.
OG.
guys. Emmy is practically telling you if you don't know, he's from a rich background.
Relax.
No.
Because that's if you look at it, it has a lot of buttons and it's double cassettes.
Double cassette,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
If they start playing it, it will start showing lights.
Yeah.
Emmy's a big boy. Don't be fooled. Don't be
guy
fooled.
knows
He's
what-
a
Yeah.
big boy.
And then when the radio station is playing your good song, it's always on pause, play,
Play.
and record.
And
You
record.
press the record. When you press the record down, it automatically puts play, right? The play goes down with it. Then you press pause. The pause is the first button on this left side, right? You pause it, and then you wait until you play your good music, man. Just run upstairs and press the pause so that it records. That's how I get my tips, man. I have the best tips. When we're going out, man, you don't want to try my tips. So my tips,
I bet they're chrome.
cassette
I bet,
tips.
I bet your cassette tapes were chrome.
Cassettes.
Ooh.
I remember that year.
You never
Yeah,
hear.
Chrome was the best.
But then there was this radio station that came to Nigeria called Ray Power. You now start playing
Power.
Ray Power in the middle of
Power.
the music. I'm like, what? Oh my god! And I said, Chai,
Emmy, you're taking us back. You're taking us
Relax,
back.
relax.
my
Don't
days.
take out the 90s. Relax.
I think
You're
they
taking
said
us back.
that in front of me. Ray Power.
No,
Power.
And by the way, if you guys, if it's for the Gen Zs on this whatever, those cassettes are actually, when they are condensed, that's what they form your hard drive on your computers.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
the pause
yes.
and play, Emmy is talking about, is just when you edit, you cut, you paste, and you save. That's practically what's
Yes.
happening.
I think that was actually the first stages of the transition to CD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was. It
Yeah,
was.
it
Yeah,
was.
It was after this they brought out the CD. The CD
The
came out
CD.
in
yeah.
'99, right?
Yeah,
I
99.
think 98, 99 was when the first CDs
Mm-hmm.
came out. Um, I think it was 98. Sorry, 98, because the first compact disc where they came out in. I think
I
they
think it
came
was
out.
after the World Cup. Actually, it was
I
after
think
the
it
World
was
Cup
after the
'98.
World Cup,
Yeah, it came
98.
out in Walkmans, right? Well,
Yeah,
Sony Walkmans
CD
before they
Walkman, CD Walkman.
yeah. Before they now had yeah, I think
Listen,
man, those are
MP3.
days, man. Yeah. The DVD came out in
Yeah,
DVD,
99.
99. DVD too is still long too small before they change everything, the technology and everything too.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
good,
Emmy,
good.
You
wait,
just absolutely confirmed. Yeah, Emmy, you just absolutely confirmed that you came from a middle class family. Because when I was growing up, this boombox, right? Especially in the ghetto, they used to kill each other for this. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah, this was a
they
big
used
deal.
to kill each other for this, man.
This was a big deal. Yeah,
Exactly.
this was a
Yeah,
big
Especially when they want to play like Africa Cup of Nations World Cup then.
yeah.
And they don't have a TV.
I remember those days, right? What we used to do, because we had this very good commentator in Nigeria then, I think Ernest Okonkwo. What we used to do was we turn on Radio Nigeria One on this kind of on these speakers here on radio, and we turn down the television.
Television,
Man,
yes.
this guy, the combination of that, you will love the game. And those days, even they take like this, you can go down the street or more, you be or more the guy they blast. You can't, it's as if you're watching the game. Like the guy's
Yeah. It's even
commentary.
faster than the TV. It's very faster than the TV. It's very
Baba.
faster.
It is a ballistic missile by FINIDi from the left wing.
Right? We are in 2023, not 1999. Don't take us back.
Ah, look at him. He's called Elastic Elaho. Elastic Elaho. He dances to the left. He goes to the right. Elastic Elaho. Oh my God. This guy. Oh boy. Man.
Everybody going to jump up. Is it go? Is it go?
Evie, you thought that commentary was funny, right? Come and listen to Hausa commentary.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That one deep. That one deep. I was like, that one.
No. Those days are no.
no,
And
but
the
no, but
Super
Emmy,
Eagles
I
then
don't.
they had very good players too.
Emmy, I don't blame them because remember, in those days, this actually started feeding generational people, like families, because businesses used to thrive because of this commentary, and they have to draw the picture. They have to draw the picture.
Yeah.
You
You
have
know,
people
like
Etim Essien. Etim Essien looks up on the center circle. He looks up. He looks right. Oh my God! It is
No, not
it is Yekini.
Emmy, please, not Emmy, not Etimesian. Etimesian.
Etim Essien. Oh yeah.
Thank you, my brother.
Oh
No sense.
they
Player.
those guys. And then I remember that was Aljas 90 where I think that was where the Super Eagles actually changed their names from Green Eagles. I think from they were Green Eagles in that tournament. I think after they got trashed 5-1 by Algeria in the opening game, everybody was like, man, it's
Those guys
doomsday.
Marius, man.
Man, I think when they came back, the Nations Cup don't fall sharp. God, those days. Back in the days, Nations Cup was Africa's World Cup.
Even in 2000, in
We're
those
back in
2000,
it. Don't worry.
I
We're
think
back in.
it's I think it's coming back. I think with this 24 team style is gradually coming back. Yeah, it's gradually coming. I think next year in Cote d'Ivoire is going to be a good tournament too. I think.
It's not coming back because in those days, Nations Cup, you have your team. They are all playing in the local league, and maybe one or two of them playing from Europe. So the quality was high then.
But
to
now
me, there was no
all of them are playing
football has
Europe.
dropped anyway.
Exactly. Now all of them are playing Europe, and then maybe one or two from the local league.
And now you have to start begging them to play for the nation.
And I think also not just the quality. I won't say the quality. I'll say the traditional African system has dropped. Like we don't see that anymore on
there is no identity anymore.
Yeah,
identity.
Yeah,
those days you see
Jemba Jemba, so many
every
of
team
them.
had,
Wow.
how they play. The
Yeah.
Cameroonians play with their strength and physical, physical type of
Quality.
football. You see the Ghanaians play,
But now
like
it's all about
skill, right?
tactics.
Then
Yes,
there's this country called Congo DR. Those guys are also very good.
Republic of
They
Congo.
also
Yeah.
put the ball on the ground too. Nigeria played with speed, athleticism, finesse on the ball, and the ability to actually, dribble. Nigeria could dribble, right? Everybody had what they were good at, right? The North Africans were known for organization. They were very good with playing. They weren't skillful, they weren't strong, but they were very organized and they knew how to, stay in the game for as long as they can
Emmy,
touch you.
do you know what opened the door for us to find our identity again as Africans? Morocco in the World Cup.
Yeah.
They
yeah,
just literally opened the door. They literally opened the door. But I don't think Africans are too Eurocentric to identify that.
No, no, no.
Seriously.
I think many Africans are south of the Sahara, right? Most of people are saying, Morocco did it, but they wanted a country south of the Sahara to actually do it first, right? But you have to ask yourself, how organized are we south of the Sahara, to be able to get to the semi-final of the World Cup? It's a big deal. It's a real big
Yeah,
deal.
it
What
is.
those guys
But
did was no joke.
Emmy, what they did is exactly what we're supposed to do, which is go back to our DNA, because we knew how North Africans used to play back in the day.
yeah,
Organization,
yeah.
defense, and then one chance, one goal, and shut up
Yes.
shop.
Yeah.
Everybody had their own identity.
And I think the best one I love most is those shots from the midfield from Taye Taiwan called Emmanuel Emenike. Do you see those shots? Oh Lord have mercy. Oh Lord.
Sunday, Sunday
Ah,
Olise. Oh my
that
God.
Olise home. Especially I love the Olise home, but the one from Taye Taiwan where he's gonna play free kick from the midfield. You know it's gonna
Oh
go
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah.
You know that one is going in. That one is
Yeah.
no
Yeah, well,
you can't contest
we've
that
seen
one.
so many generations of African players, right? And to be very honest, Africa has actually produced a lot of talent. Like the
No,
production line.
Emi, what was I emphasizing? I think it was before the World Cup or after the World Cup, where I was saying that the most important thing is not what we do with all these players who were born in France. What I was emphasizing there that the most important thing for a football nation is to invest in their local league and
Mhm.
the Nations Cup is what is critical. I think I was saying it before the World Cup or after the World Cup.
Yeah,
That's what Saudi Arabia is doing now.
yeah.
You cannot go and there's no way around it. It's your local league that is essential. That's where they must
And guess what?
invest.
They are going to improve that those players in the Saudi Arabian league. Most of those local players are going to play with the best. They're going to train with the best.
That is the
And
best
don't be
thing you can.
surprised in the USA 2026, Saudi Arabia actually gets up to the quarterfinals. Don't be shocked.
That's
But
that. There's
this
no
is
way around it. There's no way around it. All the top club, I mean, also all the top footballing nations, it's because they invest in their local leagues. It's not any other magic. It's not the
Mhm.
players are
Yeah, it's
different
true. If you look
or
at
they're
the English, if you look
special.
at the
It's
English
the
league,
is the
yeah,
amount is how you is the amount how you value your local league and how you invest. Forget
Yeah.
about begging somebody who was born in France,
yeah.
whose mother or auntie was connected to you, begging
Mhm.
them to. Those ones will not solve your problem. And that is
Yeah.
what Saudi Arabia is doing now. You
And
would
then
yeah,
see
yeah.
the
But
next
let
four.
me just
And look
quickly
at
add
this one,
this,
this
right?
kind of
If
this
you
form
look
too.
if you look at a team like Belgium with all the stars they have, right? You can tell that if they actually had that local league input, these Belgian superstars that they've had over the last 8 to 10 years, they would have done something. They would have gotten somewhere.
Yes.
Although people
If those same talented group of players had come from England, they would have
they win
either
the World Cup.
won the World Cup by now
Yeah, they
or
win the
almost
World
win
Cup.
the World Cup.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's because some of those players had to play all around Europe. That
Mhm.
is that
Because
is making it.
one thing about the national team football is about synergy, right? The teams that have won the World Cup are the teams that have the best synergies, the teams that sync together and play like one. If you look at all the World Cups that have been won, you will never see any team that has players, that are not
Ogaka,
as
we
good,
agree too.
right? You will always see the guys that won the World Cup.
You know,
Yeah, hailings will cow. I dey see
Good evening,
your
Ka.
twins, because now win treble now. We know the year word again for Twitter or that car. We will win our own treble though.
and we win them now. No problem. We'll celebrate today.
Listen, Man City,
I'm not
you
get
know
problem.
this trouble. You know this trouble where Man City win. It's like it's like what's the best way to explain it? I don't want to talk and make it be somehow like a 68-year-old guy that just got his driver's license.
No, it's not that bad.
No.
You know the funny thing.
Man
Blas,
City,
Yes,
Man
yes,
City is a young
yes,
club. Let's not
yes,
forget.
yes,
They got
yes,
acquired in 2008, right?
you know the funny thing about that statement is that
No, so I'm saying
Wait,
that
no.
it's way. It's another way of saying it's way overdue. Way overdue.
yeah, no, you see, the problem with that statement. You can be 68 and have your truck.
You just triggered Carl. Go ahead, Carl.
No, I'm enjoying myself too much. I already booked my ticket to go to Athens for the Super Cup. I've already booked my ticket to go to Saudi Arabia for
No
the World Cup.
problem. No
Oh wow!
So,
Congratulations, man.
Rise. Now
So-
let's
Wait,
go.
Carl, you are going to Athens for the Super Cup
Yeah, and I booked my ticket
against Sevilla.
Yeah. I'm going.
I sure Sevilla won't give you guys one bango.
Doesn't matter to me. I'm going anyway.
Relax. So now let's talk. Blue Eyes.
Yes,
Unmute
sir.
your mic. Finally. See, I watched him play and I'm happy. Even my dad even watched him play and he was like, he called me this morning, he was like, I watched this man play and this man is a fantastic football player. He called me and was like, you also need to do a stream about him and you have to talk about him. That he watched him play when he was going up and was like, what a player he is. And he said he's happy when he heard the news about him. FINIDi George. He's 50 years old today. And happy birthday to him. Celebrating his birthday. He just won a Yimba, the CAF African Cup of Nations in the Yimba, the MPFL national team. So congratulations to FINIDi George. And I'm so happy when you talk about Shifoga, legend of Nigeria, you can mention Kanu and Co, but you have to put FINIDi in that bracket. Nothing more to say than to appreciate an iconic football
FINIDi
player in
George.
Nigeria.
Ajax Champions League
Champions League. So WIS, FINIDi George.
guy, man.
Yo, man, where do you want to start, man? I think this guy's the deadliest number 7 in the past 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
One of the deadliest number 7s in world football. Bar none.
Yeah.
You want to talk about incisive number 7, someone that can rip your heart apart from downtown Ikeja. I never seen a guy so cold, man. Like, you pass the ball to FINIDi George in that right pocket. It's just like an assist. Just making a pass out to him in that right pocket. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Yeah? Go ahead, bro. You can hear you.
Okay, good. So just making a pass out to him in that right pocket was just a thing of beauty, man. And then looking at the way he grew in the game,
Mm-hmm.
Looking at what he did at Ajax.
Won the Champions League there.
Yo,
If I'm not mistaken, I think he played with Nwankwo Kanu in Ajax.
Yeah, they played in the final.
Yeah,
now,
he did.
95.
yeah, now.
Yes,
They
sir.
beat AC Milan in the final.
94, 95, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I know
95.
now.
95, yes.
Yeah, 95. They beat
So
AC
they-
Milan in the final.
with,
AC Milan was coming
But
back.
my
to
dad
that
kept
game.
mentioning his name that he watched him when they were
My-
going, but like I
And
watched
guess
him.
what?
God.
AC Milan had Baresi, Maldini, Costa
Yeah.
Curta, Asoti in that back four.
You know who my guy
The
was? in that
fantastic
team
back
too?
four, actually.
Patrick Kluivert. Hi, with Patrick Kluivert and those guys. Oh,
Blue Eyes, what of FINIDi's assist to Yakini?
in the World Cup '94.
World Cup 94.
Yes, now. That's one of the most iconic goals in World Cup history. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's top. Is one of the most iconic goals. That pass. Oh, well, it was the pass before the pass. That Amokachi's pass.
Yeah.
That was a key pass, right?
Amokachi killed it, but he killed it. He killed
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Finidi
but-
used to be called the Flying Antelope. That was his nickname.
Yeah.
The Flying Antelope of Sharks of Port Harcourt. He started from Sharks Sharks of Port Harcourt, that's where West Ham found him, and and helped move him up to Ajax because those days most of the Nigerian players started playing in the Dutch league because of West Ham's connection, and he was one of the first few that actually moved to Ajax, from the Nigerian league. And man, I think he was top three number sevens of all time in his days.
Just number seven. And when I say that, sometimes when I say kids, all these kids that play number seven or whatever it is called, inverted wingers, learn to hug the line. Go and watch.
Finidi hug the line though.
Was a real winger.
He's a real winger, a tactician on the wings. Like he
because the problem we have this era is we call this term inside forward, and this kind of I don't even know
inside and outside forwards. Yeah,
I don't even understand how they implemented that word. But when you watch Finidi George, when you hug the line, that
if you want to hugging the line, a tactician on that line, it's not even funny, man. But it's funny, we're talking about him as a footballer, but we're not talking about him as a coach.
And he's celebrating his birthday.
Yeah, we are.
50 years of birthday.
Wow.
So happy for him.
Wow.
He's a fantastic coach. So I heard he plays progressive.
He just won a Yimba the Cup. Is it African Cup of Nations?
Because the reason I made that comment is people are actually throwing his name in the ring for the Nigerian.
I was about to say that, Blue Eyes. I was about to say that. Now people are already voting him for the national team. Yeah.
But they just disgraced him now. He was there. He was in this guy's portfolio. This new coach. Yeah.
As a second man.
As a second man. Yeah. And the Nigerian Football Federation kind of sacked him or told him he was not needed anymore. So he now went back and Imba took him on board.
Yeah, but that's life, man. Look at Pochettino is back to Chelsea. That's life.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't
so
know.
I
don't know if I'll be so I'll be so in a rush back to the Nigerian job, because the Nigerian job they don't know what they're doing for sure.
Fair enough. Emmy,
What's his
Go ahead, Carl. Go ahead.
What's his job now?
No, it's the national
coach.
team of the Yimba. He's the coach of the Yimba. Sorry.
Yeah, I think he just won them the league.
He just won them the African Cup of Nations in the Yimba.
Champions League.
Oh, the CAF Champions League.
The CAF Champions League. Yes, he just won them.
So he's going to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, he'll be there. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, Imba will be there.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
he just won them. Mr. Guy, money is that? He just won them now. He's been on this for a very long time. He needed just won them the CAF, for Yimba.
I don't follow. I don't follow the guy as a coach. I didn't know, man.
He just won the CAF Champions League for them.
Amazing.
Yeah. So after that, his name has been Sack Posero, bring in George, Finidi George, Sack.
Yeah.
That name has been around. See, after the Nations Cup qualified with us, the name has been ramping about. Mbajo Penis came out. Fans, what do you want? Everybody say Finidi George. What do you want? Finidi George. That's what I'll be shouting.
You see Gareth Southgate. Gareth Southgate is not stupid. Immediately he signed a better jersey. Immediately. He didn't waste time, man.
He signed who?
A better jersey.
Oh, he's going to play for England?
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, England immediately now.
Finidi George.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, Finidi, Finidi broke into the Nigerian team, the Super Eagles, right? I like to talk about this guy because one of my favorite players of all time in the Super Eagles. After the 1990 Nations Cup, right, the Nigerian national team kind of went through a transition. Players like Andrew Uwe, what's his name? Musa Shofulue, most of those players were kind of phased out, and Westerhoff, rebuilt a team, pretty much went back into the doldrums, of Nigerian Football League, and actually unearthed even more germs. He got this guy, this guy broke into the national team, I think in 1991, and Finidi George, and he used to play for Sharks of Port Harcourt, when Sharks was Sharks, right? And he was known for his pace, his technical ability on the line. He could dribble, he could cross. He was a real winger's winger, right? He rose up, from Sharks to Ajax, played the Champions League final in '94. Um, you know, After helping Nigeria to win Tunisia '94 in that winter, right? He went on to win the Champions League in that final. He started that final in Vienna in against AC Milan. One of my best Champions League finals because Milan was Champions League. They were cup holders at the time, and Ajax were young boys, were 20-year-olds, pretty much. That's what many people say. Ajax was the last team whose average age was probably 22, and that was because of they had their captain and maybe one other player that was over 35. But majority, 80% of the players were under 22, under 23, and they won the Champions League. They beat the almighty Milan and ended a dynasty. But back to Finidi. Finidi was just unique, awesome player. He had a fantastic career to me. I think one of the first Africans to win the Champions League after Abedi Pele did in 93 with Marseille. He did it with Kanu. And I like his part, that he worked in his career. I'm also happy he also doing a good job as a coach. I've seen a lot of write-ups on the type of play type of football he plays. He plays possession, the real Ajax football. That's what he plays. He plays total football for his teams. All right, very energetic team that he does, and yeah, I think I'm happy for him. He's a legend of the Nigerian game. I'm happy that he's also giving back now to, after getting his European badges. I just hope the NFA will actually help make sure that if he's going to be the coach, they give him the same free hand that they're giving to this current coach, and pay him his dues. He's a European badged coach. Like, this guy actually has more qualifications than some of these guys we're bringing in. He has his
And he has that Nigerian DNA in him.
yeah. And one thing about I like Finidi, where he went to learn his coaching, he went back to Ajax. He went back to Ajax, worked with them in their, second team, walked through the youth ranks and actually learned the ropes, the good way. And he's back in Nigeria doing his stuff. So I'm very happy. Quality top player, right? There's nowhere you say Finidi George in Europe that people will not say, wow,
Yeah.
we remember that dude, especially when he played at Betis,
They
right?
even play a tribute video for him to remember him.
Yeah. He has. I think that was a tribute to Finidi, where he also got, I think Finidi and friends, so many European stars graced that match, and yeah, he's one of the top players of
Because
his
Ayaz
generation.
greeted him.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they greeted him.
Hey, congratulations with your birthday. 50 years already. But we never forget you, my friend. Georgie, my friend. I just take the opportunity to wish you a very happy birthday. I hope you enjoy your wonderful day. But above all, I hope you are safe and in good health. Take care, buddy. See you soon. Ciao.
Happy birthday, my friend. You see, that's the famous top corner. We all remember that.
Yep, the famous top corner.
FINIDi Joos. Happy birthday. 50 years old. I've been there. Nothing's going to change, buddy. I wish you a happy birthday. Big kiss to the family and hope to see you soon. Take care. Enjoy of your day. Hopefully we see you soon somewhere.
FINIDi, dear brother, happy birthday. Happy 50th birthday. I want to wish you a lot of happiness and health for you and your family, of course.
Hello, FINIDi George. Happy birthday, my friend. 50 years. Young and still going strong.
It was an unbelievable time in Ajax to play together with you. You on the right side, I on the left side. I think it was one of the best combinations Ajax had in history.
FINIDi, it's Frank. Congratulations with your
Frank
I hope
De
you have a fantastic
Frank
time.
de Boer.
Welcome to the club, my friend.
It was a great honor to play with you in this shirt.
I hope you will have a wonderful day with your friends and your loved ones to celebrate. And I will always remember you, and especially this. FINIDi, whoa, FINIDi, oh, FINIDi.
That song they sang for him.
FINIDi, oh.
Hello, FINIDi, George.
Abdul best friend.
I remember you.
Abdul best friend. The grandpa himself.
Remember me. But I want to congratulate you with your
Vanguard.
birthday. 50 years. That's a lot.
Happy birthday, brother. 50 years. Many years to come. Good. God bless.
Enjoy the beautiful day with your family. Come soon to Amsterdam to see a match. And I wish you all the best.
Hey, my friend, congratulations, 50 years old. We are in Rome. I think you know the stadium, Stadio Olimpico. First
Oh, Van der Sar.
later final, and we lost in 96. But great memories of 95, Fini. And hope you're well, the family, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
In the Netherlands, with a birthday, we shout out, hip, hip, hoorah, FINIDi. Enjoy your birthday. Bye. FINIDi.
So everybody greeted him and I asked to greet him for his birthday.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. It's beautiful. Make it a kick Okocha like that and count. I want to see.
Okocha didn't spend. Okocha will get that kind of greeting from.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Both,
But
I
for
think
FINIDi, man.
they did that recently for him. I think he went to Paris for one of the matches, and they had a tribute for Kocha.
Bless, and you know what they did now? You know what kind of make me happy now is they promote him because now Nwankwo Kanu is part of the technical pool in Yimba now. I think he's part of the
governor. He's their sporting director.
Sporting director now. So I like what they are doing that in Yimba now. George is the coach.
Nice.
Nwankwo Kanu is the sporting director. Now they are coming together, and this is what I've been crying out loud for Nigeria national team for a very long time. Bring them together. Bring them together. Bring these people together and make Nigeria go forward. Bring them together. That's what I've been crying. I've been crying these scenes to bring these people together. Bring them together. Let's be one. Nigeria will grow as a team. We'll grow together. But if you are bringing a European manager, what do they know? They don't even have Nigerian DNA. Doesn't make any sense.
Man, let's move on, Jare Abdullahi. Let's move on to something else.
No,
There's
it's
so many news everywhere.
It's freaking annoying. So when you that kind of stuff, but it's interesting though. FINIDi, it will always be remembered. I'm happy that he won the Yimba stuff, and like it's refreshing to see Nigerian manager doing very well, especially for Yimba. Yimba is a big name in MPFL, a big name. So we'll see. Abdul is on my. Abdul, yeah, quick take before I move on. Abdul, yeah, quick talk your talk.
Yeah, people don't even remember that he played back-to-back Champions League final.
Yeah, I think in
People
'96.
just
Yeah.
remember- People just remember the Champions League final they won. They forgot they played Champions League final 95 and 96.
Yeah, they played against
So-
Juventus, right? Yeah,
Exactly. So for a club like Ajax, that's a big achievement for them.
Yeah. That Ajax team went about 66 games unbeaten in Europe, everywhere, all competitions. They didn't lose a game for a whole year. That 95, they didn't lose a match. That was under Vanguard. They played what they call total football. They were so amazing to watch, right? In fact, that final they lost, or their first loss, after they won the
127 games, 62 cap, 86 goals. Wow.
So that was the best team. That was the best young team I've ever seen. I think maybe until Chelsea won the Champions League like 2 seasons ago. That's the best young team I've seen in Europe that actually went ahead and actually established themselves winning something.
Yeah.
They were such a delight to watch.
Yeah.
I can't remember how many times I watched that final. I probably watched like 20 times because I had it on tape. I mean, if you remember the VHS tape then.
Yeah.
So-
They actually even they had a special VHS tape for that 95 Ajax team.
Yeah. I can remember myself now for one show. It's not Kingsway, but it's one show they used to call it Chalarams that I went to buy. I want to buy the tape then. Beautiful team, complete team, total football team. And one thing there was one national team player. He is very junior to Finidi that played in the national team as well. And he said, I think he played for Sharks as well. And he said Finidi used to advise him that when he makes a pass, you make a pass where the player receiving the ball, don't have to break their stride. So they don't have to like stop and receive your ball or run too fast to receive their ball. The ball must reach them at the pace at which they're running. And if you look at Finidi, that's what he was a master of. I mean, people like Ozil will have to go and learn how to pass the ball if they were playing in the era of Finidi. So kudos for him. He's always been level-headed from the first day I ever knew Finidi. He has the right temperament. Even by the time before he even finished playing in Europe, we were hearing that Finidi had like 3 or 4 filling stations in Spain. He had so many investments in Nigeria. He's so level-headed. You could tell how the boys is pairs from Ajax. You can see the way you can see when the way from the videotape they made for him. You could see like there was a spark in their eyes, remembering the guy, remembering Finidi. You could tell like they had a lot of respect for him as a
Vote for
human
your
being.
face, stop. Vote for your face, stop that, stop. Blair, don't respond. Blair, don't respond.
No, I don't know. Maybe you'll be surprised.
Vote, you are
have
sick
played.
in the head for this.
Actually,
Vote,
Opanka actually
you are
fits
sick.
into
Don't
that.
do this now, please. Don't
No,
do
Opanka actually fits into that team. If you look at it,
He'll play in that midfield now.
he will play in that midfield though, because if you look at that midfield, Seedorf,
Edgar Davids and Seedorf, right?
yeah,
Relax.
I don't
Seedorf,
know.
Edgar
I don't
Davids,
know.
and
I don't know what else Opanka
and
needs to do to boost me.
Frank Rijkaard. That was their midfield then.
Yeah.
Even if Opanka could not start, he'd probably be direct replacement for one of those 3 players.
Yeah.
So, and most importantly, we have to give Westerhoff credit for believing in Finidi,
Yeah, that's true.
because it was him that actually pushed for that deal for Ajax to sign him.
Yeah.
Because Ajax wanted to sign Tijani Babangida, because Tijani Babangida was tearing the Dutch league out, apart for like 3-4 seasons.
No. Tijani came after Finidio.
No, hold on. He was tearing the Dutch league apart.
Oh, yeah.
Ajax.
Yeah,
He was playing for Vimvi Venlo. Okay. And he was playing for Venlo and he was tearing the whole. He was the best winger. And then Ajax wanted to sign Tijani Babangida. And Westerhoff, a Dutch guy, said, just wait, be patient. I'm sending a kid for you. I'm sending a kid to you from Nigeria. You just give it a trial and see what you think about it. Don't hold be patient. Don't rush to sign Tijani. And then they saw Finidi. They said, like, oh, no, we've got to sign this guy straight away. This guy is more tactically aware than Tijani and TJ Babangida. And it was after TJ Babangida. It was after Finidi left 3 or 4 seasons after playing for Ajax that then they went to sign Tijani. So he actually delayed the rise of Tijani by like 3 seasons.
At least, yeah. They signed Tijani like 98, I think.
After Finidi left, then they signed him to like see with the advent of Finidi, okay, that's why it's always good to have a good reputation. With the advent of Finidi, the 2 players that played for Ajax after Finidi were from Nigeria and they were right wingers. They just reserved that position for Nigerians for maybe 7 seasons.
I think
Because after Tijani left, then they signed Pius Ikedia.
Yeah.
To replace Tijani Babangida on the same right wing position. So he did a lot of great things. But
Pius Ikedia, that guy carry muscle. Hey.
Pius Ikedia. The guy can run to throwing line by himself.
Do you know Pius Ikedia? Okay, I used to know the doctor that actually certified his age. and the guy did not even know him. Like we were just watching the football together one day at the pub, and I was like, "Oh, this guy, blah 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 blah." I said, "What?" It's like I certified this kid like a few years ago. I certified his age. He's like, "How old?" It's like, no, that's his real age, because then the doctor told me they had like a camp full of like he said like 50 players, and it was only Pius and one other guy that would actually claim their correct age.
How come Piosiki? Let's not talk about. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Let's
So-
move on. No problem.
I don't want to go there.
I don't go there.
I don't want to
There's
go
a
where
lot of
Abdul wants to
stories.
take us.
That entry you are going to. No,
No, I'm trying
comment.
to say there's a lot of stories. There's a lot of good stories around
No,
Finidi George.
that entry you are going to have to. I prefer not to.
Even when Real Batis paid $7 million for his transfer. That was the same time I think they bought Danielson to play on the left wing and Finidi George to play on the right wing.
Yeah, for Betis.
For Betis, yeah.
And they had this guy called Alfonso who had the white boots, right?
Exactly, the guy with the white goal, the speech. You remember. And it was actually Finidi that was actually successful because the other guy couldn't settle. You know that Brazilian guy that introduced the step over?
That was a 50 step over, the 100 step
exactly. Is it Danielson or something like
that? It was
that?
the most expensive flop ever.
The most expensive player.
They bought that guy for £35 million.
World record.
They were money misruled club. So let's move on.
Let's
talk about Pochettino's
Let's
first
talk.
press conference.
I want to talk about Poch.
Yes. Let's talk about
Blue
Poch.
Eyes.
Now we can talk.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's talk Poch because I listened to the interview, but like you said, right? We know they use that approval they use talk until you see it on the page before we can. I watched the interview. Yes, I like what he said because those are the words we need for our manager to kind of have that fire mentality in them. Like I said also too, I need to see it play on the pitch before I can even have these players are young, all of them are coming from a bad season. It's like it's a challenge to the players like Raheem Sterling, Enzo Fernandez, all this kind of Mikhail Modric, Nano Modric, all of them is a big challenge for them now. Go on the pitch and play. I don't care about you, just go out. Let them know you are playing for Chelsea. Now the manager has spoken. How would they respond? Is the big key for me. It's not even about him speaking. It's about can he translate that to the players? And like I always said, as a manager, you have to see the replica of a manager in the player to show on the pitch. We see it in Pep, we see it in club. Whatever the manager says, he has to perform them on the pitch. And now we've spoken, we have to see it on the pitch. And he said it, come Liverpool in the first match of the Premier League season, we are going there to win the match. That is the mentality I want from manager. Not the player gave it all, the player gave their all. I don't have time for project. I don't want to mention names. I don't get time for project. Going to the Liverpool match, that is the first match of the Premier League season. Go there and win. That's it. Anything other than win, I'm gonna have a serious competition to have. But now I like what I hear from him. Now let's have that discussion. So your take,
Abdullahi. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to ask you.
Go ahead. Olua, go ahead.
Thank you. How confident in you? I as much as I understand Pochettino is trying to be optimistic and say the right words. How confident are you going to Liverpool's game on Anfield to go win that game?
Okay,
You don't have a starting 11 yet, so I don't understand.
The question you're asking me, should I answer based on a fan or realist?
Yeah, I want you to be realistic.
As a realistic fans,
yeah,
I'll be very, very assure you. I'm 10%.
You're 10%, right?
It's even big, 10% because
I agree to that as well.
I don't know the squad we're gonna have coming.
Exactly.
So that's on 10%. But as a fan base, I'll be optimistic.
Abdullah, what do you mean 10%? 10% of what?
Mr. Abdul.
In terms of chances of going to win at Anfield.
No, it's
Stamford Bridge. First game of the season.
The Stamford Bridge?
Yeah, at the Bridge.
First game of the season.
Oh,
come on, man.
Because till we see what we have on ground on table in terms of our first 11.
Even if you have Real Madrid on ground, if you have their players on ground, there's always element of surprise in the first game of the season because people are not, in their most players are not in their form, their normal Premier League form. So I wouldn't really bet on that. But I know where your fear is, okay, in terms of we don't even have anything to put out there. You know what I mean? So, but that's our reality. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
We just have to, hope and trust these guys doing the deal.
That's why I said
Just
10%.
suppose.
So that's my hope. 10% is what I can say because I don't know what squad we're gonna bring out. So
Yeah, I have a feeling that maybe our first 11 of the season might not be ready for that first game of the season. The way things are going, because I don't know why it's taking over a week to do CAICEDO deal. Really, seriously, I don't know why this deal is taking long.
it's
But
gonna take long because it's Brighton, so it will take long. It's Brighton over here, but that's what the Brighton.
but come on, man, we've been good to Brighton over the years now. Come on,
Brighton.
people are
It's
talking
Brighton.
as if
It's Brighton.
no, but this guy is not an antichrist for goodness sake. We've been good to him, man. We bought Cucurella. We give him Levi Colwell. We give them Lamptey a few years ago. We come on. The relationship is not a bad relationship. We have.
So we'll see.
What's
See
his
what
problem?
happened
Really?
this week. We'll see what's gonna happen this week. But like I said,
Yeah,
Brighton
something.
is where the problem is. I don't think we have a problem with Caicedo. It's all about the board, the Brighton board, and it's because of Declan Rice deal close to 100. That's the reason they are doing that bullshit. Because the way Tony Bloom has already put himself into I won't say a fire because he's come out with a big statement, which I'm like Tony Bloom, just relax. He came out and said it. I think is it on Sky? Is it on BBC? I'm not even sure. He said Mr. Caicedo is a better player than Declan Rice. Like, if Declan can go for 105, Caicedo can go for 100. I'm like, hey, that's a big statement. That's a very big statement to make. Which I'm like a little bit of that's a very big one to make. To make that statement, it is very big. It is
See,
very big.
I think if you ask me, I agree with what Votis just said. I think Brighton wants Colwell. Colwell wants
Yeah,
Brighton, right?
exactly.
That's where the problem is.
Mhm.
Brighton wants Levi Colwell. Colwell also wants Brighton. He has not come out to say it, but I know you guys saw the video with Noni on
No, he
Saturday.
doesn't look happy.
Levi Colwell doesn't want to be at Chelsea Football Club. It is sad news. But it's true.
Emmy, like I always say, any player, especially in quote, young player that does not want to be at Chelsea, please let them just drive him to wherever he wants to be.
Yeah, I
Let them
think that's I think
hire a
that's
plane and fly him to
But I also
wherever
have
he
that
needs
belief too. I
to
have that
be.
belief.
yeah, because Abdul, I share your sentiments too, but the Chelsea Cobham sexuals fans have said that Levi Cole is the best thing that's happened since sliced bread, right?
I don't believe it.
Okay, we're
And
going through the same road again.
I don't want to
No,
go
but
there.
that's
So
no, yeah, I'm sorry,
Emmy,
I was not,
that's
in the extreme. It was
yeah,
just,
That place
sorry.
I've been
I
into.
think if we can let Mason Mount go, Cole could leave as well. If he's
Yeah,
unhappy, he can go. This is the time where unhappy players can leave. We don't
yeah,
want
because I
But
don't
you're
want
missing
a
something.
the
player.
likes of Callum
The worst,
Odor as well. He can leave.
yeah,
He wants to
Hold
go.
on,
We're
hold
worst
on.
starting a
You're
thing,
clean
missing.
slate now.
Listen,
So
the worst,
enough of all
guys,
this.
you're missing
Enough of all this
something.
Cobble talk.
Hold
yeah,
on,
Once
I'm
he goes,
tired
hold
he
on,
of,
goes.
talking
Stay,
about the
stay.
hold on.
guy. Sorry,
Let me
Let
hear
me
Abdul.
say
Blast want to say something. Go ahead.
let me say something about Cole. I haven't said something about this kid because I don't know anything about this
You
kid.
talk about Pod, but talk about Cole.
Okay. I don't know anything about this kid because I haven't really watched this kid, so forgive me. However, I tell you one thing, Cole is still under contract.
Yes.
Okay.
He has
So
2
for
years
Bright,
left.
how many years?
2.
2 years.
Thank
It,
you.
it
Thank you.
expires in 2025.
And Todd Bowley is not stupid because Todd Bowley knows right now, if you're looking at currency in terms of who's cooking in that age grade, Cole is definitely top 3.
Yep. Cole is going to cost
So
£70 million in 2025.
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So
So
No,
yeah,
no, no. But he doesn't want to extend his contract now.
yeah,
that's
that's
fine.
another
No,
thing.
but Abdul, that's fine. But the thing is, He's under contract, and we've seen what these guys can do at the flip of a coin. You understand? So as long as he's still an asset, is what I'm trying to say, Abdul. As long as he's still an asset, Todd Bowley still has leveraging power, and that's what he's trying to pull here. So Colwill can pull all his toys out of the pram. He can throw everything out of the pram. He's still under contract. And if that's the case, if I were Todd Bowley, I wouldn't even react to Brighton doing anything with Cole. Nonsense. I'll tell Cole, pack your load. We're going to US. We're going to US for preseason.
No. He's on the train to the US next week Monday.
Good.
Yes,
good.
Yeah, he's going to the US.
That's the way to do it.
See, guys, right?
See small Brighton.
To me,
shake.
Nonsense.
To me, any young player, young players cannot hold Chelsea Football Club.
Whole football club, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
If they ever indicate, show any sign that they want to leave the club, please just don't
because Abdul,
don't even entertain it for a moment. Hold on, I will apply. Okay, let him go. Okay, now I am not saying this is what it is, but me, I'm saying I believe. What is that other guy's name? That other young player that played when we played away to City, that has like dreads. What's his name? He played
Bashir Humphrey.
Is it Bashir or Briggs something?
No, Bashir Humphrey. He played in centre back, right?
Yeah, he plays centre back. He's tall. He did his hair in a funny way. That guy is as good. That guy is only 19. It's as good as Colwill, or what's his name?
Yeah. Do you know that Levi Colwill?
So what's the big deal?
Levi Colwill almost cost the under 20, the English under 20 to 21, an equalizer in that match on Saturday.
Yeah, but
if not for the goalkeeper, and this under 21 football. Remember,
hold on. You remember what Messi did to Gabriel in the World Cup? Now, how much is Man City going to play for Gabriel? Calm down now.
90 million plus 100.
But that's Gabriel. That's Messi though.
Because for me in this scenario,
I got carved like a
I'm annoyed a little bit, and I'm a little bit calm. Why I'm annoyed is the way I look at the Levi situation is becoming arrogant and cocky for me, which I don't like. Because
that's okay. Listen, no, Abdullah, hold on. Listen, all those things, that's okay. It builds the confidence in the player. You understand? Let him. Right now, he's trying to show his worth. He's trying to show his worth. Remember, like I said, this guy is still under contract.
Yes.
So if you like, do whatever you want to do.
But let me ask you a question. But actually, who will you take?
Right now, I take Colwill.
Why?
You don't watch Colwill, Blue Eyes.
I'll take Colwill.
Ahead of Badiashile.
I'll take Colwill.
But Blue Eyes,
when Badiashile.
You know why? Let me tell you. Let's engage. Let's engage.
You said that you've not watched Colwill. You've watched Badiashile.
Yeah, but I've seen what Colwill can do.
Where?
That thing is
in the under 20 World Cup.
No, even at Brighton, I've seen some of his games. Not like I've watched, like I've seen some of his games. What he can do is exactly why there's going to be a tussle for this guy. Badiashile, let me tell you something about Badiashile. Badiashile is good, but Badiashile is a coach's boy. If the coach has to put his hand on his shoulder for Badiashile to execute. These things are you don't need to understand.
No, Blue Eyes.
I don't think so, Blue Eyes.
No. You are underestimating this guy.
Blue Eyes.
See. It boils down to this thing. I keep repeating it. I am not formulating it. It's a theory. It's a theory that I've actually presented in a seminar.
I agree with you, Eddie.
Some players.
Eddie came with fire.
Pull up, Eddie.
It's about to become Mason 2.0.
Yeah,
Because
that's
Eddie,
it's
this is
about to
what is.
split. It's
I'm just
about
sorry
to
to cut you
split. It's
because
about to
is
split
why I
the
said
fan base
why I
again.
said I'm annoyed and cocky is no players is bigger than the club. That's number one for me. And I said it again. Levi cannot and will never decide for Chelsea or demand. See, he has to prove his worth for him to even bring the starting 11.
No, but guess what?
No, but what,
Abdullahi?
no, what you're
Without
missing.
putting-
No, you're missing the point. No, guys, guys, you guys are missing the point.
Mhm.
It's not like it's not. Listen, Levi Colwill, you can tell he has a team that is advising him.
Yes. I
Right
agree.
now, Levi Colwill knows his worth. What you're seeing right now is evidence of a kid that knows his currency in the market.
But can I ask you guys a question?
Well,
Is this guy? Is this guy? Do you rate him better than Saliba?
No, I rate
So
Saliba higher.
I really want to understand.
No.
Like, and they're pretty much
No,
same
no,
age group, if I'm correct, right?
No, Saliba is older
No,
than
Saliba is way better.
Saliba has plenty.
Okay, good. He has experience. So what I'm just trying to say is,
You can't
No,
if he's going to give us too much trouble, let him go.
Simple.
Let him go. Like,
Saliba senior
Saliba-
football. Where?
Saliba is like Saliba is like a captain next to Colwell.
and if you remember, Saliba had his own issue as well with the previous manager. With
Saliba went to
the current manager as well.
Saliba went to France. He went to France before.
He went to Marseille, yeah. And he came back. He wanted to play for the club, and now he's a regular there. If Colwell wants to play for Chelsea, let him prove it. Enough of all this. Want to go play for Brighton?
Simple.
Listen, no, guys, you guys are missing the point. The problem now is that, and please don't quote me, is that the market is reacting based on currency of the player.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you know when in the mortgage industry they say buyers and sellers market.
Mm-hmm.
You know that temperature.
Yeah.
You understand? So right now it's I think it's a sellers. What how would you convert that to football right now? Anybody who's in finance, I think it's more. What would that translate to?
Is the buyer's market?
There you go.
Yeah, it's the buyer's market because the buyers now have the advantage. Because what they do is they put pressure on the player that the selling club wants to sell, or a club has. Like they put pressure on a particular player. It's very young players. They turn their heads with, hey, we'll give you constant football, we'll develop you, we'll get you to be the next superstar, we'll market you, all that stuff, right? We'll make you the face of our club, we'll make you the most expensive player our club has ever signed. The player's head is turned immediately. We'll value you, we'll make sure you are always in the match day squad. You understand? All that stuff, because Chelsea is not going to say any of these things that I just said to Levi Colwill.
Wait. For me now, this is where I want to see what Poch is gonna do. But the Achille is fit coming to the new season.
No, he's not fit yet. I don't think he's fit.
Not fit.
I think we'll travel to the preseason.
Hey, he's going. Yeah, he's going east.
Let's say he's fit. Of course. Let's say he's fit for the new season, and you have Levi Colwill for me. For me, I'm playing by the Achille ahead of Levi Colwill. I do not care how.
I'm playing Levi Colwill ahead of Fofana.
No,
I can give you that.
Can't do that.
I can give you that.
You can't do that
because in as much as Fofana had a dreadful season last season, I think he's still Fofana ahead of him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, come on, man. You know Fofana be. Man, you guys stop this stress. Blue Eyes, one of the problems of this our fan base with Blue Eyes.
No.
You guys are dividing. Constantly dividing this fan base.
Hold on.
After Messi Mount left, you guys have found another person.
No. Emmy. Blue Eyes has a point. Okay, Blue Eyes has a point. From what what's it called?
You know the truth is
from. 2 seconds, please, Blue Eyes. From what Fofana played for us last season, I'm not saying what he was playing before then. I said from what he played for us last season. Okay, if he carries that play to Chelsea next season, I will play Colwill ahead of him. If I to choose as the coach.
No, come on, man.
No, because Fofana, hold on now. Let me you know say me. Hold on. You know say me, I just don't talk football. I'll give you the facts. I'll give you what I'm following. Okay, I'll give you my ticket behind it. Okay. Hold on now. From what I've seen, Emmy, let me defend myself. Okay. Player to player, based on what I saw, I've said it based on what I saw last season. Okay. Kowe shows more mental strength as a defender
Exactly.
compared to Fofana.
So are you comparing Fofana from Chelsea or Leicester City?
That's what
Any
I'm
Fofana,
saying. I
just
said
package
it.
it.
Are
That's
you not
what
listening,
Abdul is saying.
Olua?
No, Leicester City.
I
Come
said,
on, like this guy was a regular and was a beast. Like, come on.
hold on,
There's a
Olua.
reason why we signed him for that amount of money.
Average player.
Olua. I said
Good
based
player,
on what I
average
saw,
player.
what I received from him last season. Okay,
In Chelsea.
Chelsea is not Leicester. Okay, so you might do at
I
Leicester.
do agree, but I think most of the
Average
players
player.
they had a one-off last season. So
He's a much ado. They call it much ado.
But how come Badashile was more impressive than Fofana last
it
season?
wasn't bad initially. He struggled towards the end. It wasn't like as if he was
Because
superb all through.
it was when he
He
got
wasn't even
injured.
starting.
No. It was when he was
Badashile,
managing
average
his
player.
injury. It was when he was managing his injury that he dropped off. But when he was still fresh from France, he was showing top performance. He was
Yeah,
delivering
but
top
this
performance. Okay,
Yeah, all
so I'm
average
just
players.
basing. I'm not saying this is the fact. It's not the fact. I'm just saying from what I have on record, based on what I saw. If you just base it on last season alone, I'm not saying whatever.
But that
Based on
could be
just
said for Fafana as well. He was coming straight from a long-term injury,
of
so
course. I'm not disputing. I'm just saying if I'm to use last season as the only use
yeah, you're
case,
right. I agree with that as well.
I
Yes,
will.
based on last season, no,
I
you
will say
wouldn't want to start him for Chelsea.
Kuwe was ahead of Fofana. Okay, and I was watching one interview when I think it was Fofana that was saying something like, "Oh, just the ball." He was making reference to using the gym or going to the gym, and it was like, "Oh, boring stuff like going to the gym." I'm thinking a professional footballer telling me go to the gym is boring stuff. That shows mental fortitude. It should not be boring to you going to the gym. That's what you're paid for.
But don't forget as well, Modric used to go to the gym all the time and he struggled.
He better, no. What people don't understand is hold on, Abdullah, hold on. See, what people don't understand is
It's not by gym. What people understand is that it's not by
hold on,
gym.
let me finish. You're cutting me now. I didn't mid sentence. You're cutting it.
Right, I'm the finisher.
What people don't understand is you are signed and paid as a professional footballer to be a professional footballer. You are paid and signed to be a professional footballer. You are not paid and signed to play football. Okay? So you have to be a committed, dedicated professional. You have to be doing your job properly, not just turning up to play. They don't only pay you to play. Okay, if they were just paying you to play, then there would be no need for even coach. Just turn up on Saturday and come and play. Okay, that is why you are seeing players like Ronaldo, players like Aspilicueta, they have been able to actually benefit more and become more fulfilled in their professional football because they were doing their job properly. Okay, it is part of your job. Somebody has to drill it into these young players' heads. Your job is not for you to, it's not on Saturday. Okay, your job is for you to be committed 24/7. And you should not find something like the gym boring. If you find the gym boring, what is the alternative you're using? Especially for a player who we know is injury prone. I'm making reference to him. I'm not saying every player you must use gym. There are alternatives to gym, of course, we know that. But for you from Fana that we know you have weak hamstring, sometimes you could be injury prone, you walk in a funny way, your posture is not that athletic per se, you have to correct it. You can't just depend on your talent.
That's very critical. That's very harsh. Abdul, that's very harsh.
That's a low blow, but it's okay. I get you.
Harsh, okay.
Very harsh.
Okay, and they'll just be signing 100, 150,000, 200,000 to you per week. You're saying it's harsh. What is harsh then?
Because this is for me. Because I don't think Badiashile will start.
If somebody had told Wayne Rooney, somebody was telling me today, or I was listening to it somewhere. If someone had told Wayne Rooney the harsh truth, he will be making millions now in Saudi Arabia. Is Ronaldo not his mate? Look at Ronaldo still playing.
No, but you're right. Abdul, you're right.
Yeah. 6 years ago, I can't believe it. Rooney retired 6-7 years ago. Imagine the kid still playing. He will earn more than Ronaldo now he will earn more than Ronaldo in Saudi Arabia.
I tell you something about Abdul.
What you-
Hold on. Let me tell you something about Wayne Rooney. You see the way Wayne Rooney retired. It's unfortunate, but that's the way that candle is gonna go out. It couldn't have been written any other way. That's the kind of player Wayne Rooney is. He's that kind of they come few and far between those kind of players. Those guys, nah, the way it happened is the way it's supposed to finish. You think Wayne Rooney will play another 6? Imagine Wayne Rooney plays 6 years after from 6 years ago. Nah, man. Nah, this is Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney stopped when the fun stopped. He's that kind of guy. I bet you he stopped as soon as the fun was out of the game.
Yeah, I know, but you can never say.
You can just tell.
Say if no,
You
you
can
can
just
never
tell,
say
man.
if somebody is doing their job properly. You can never say. I know it will be difficult for Wayne Rooney to play like to this stage because if you look at even his style of play, it's explosive. It's an explosive player.
Exactly.
It's not easy to play like that for too long. And then I think within his first 2 seasons of play, he break his metatarsal or something like that. It's not easy when you break a metatarsal as a young player. And I think he fractured the other one maybe like 4 years later. Those are the things that are essential to you sprinting as a footballer.
He left the game at the right time. I think it was unfortunate.
Yeah, I agree.
He left the game at the right time for me, but it was unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, Rice, your take on Mauricio Pochettino's interview, because you are very someone that are always very critical when it comes to manager. So
yeah,
Um,
yeah. For Pochettino, I listened to that interview closely, and I was trying my best to separate my Chelsea fanatism against Tottenham and trying to listen to the truth behind the message this man was trying to deliver. I successfully was able to execute that task, and I was able to listen in to what this man had to say. And I don't know if you want to say it's as a result of first time experience. He understands the EPL now. He's played for an arch rival, so he understands that there's no negotiation except for winning. We're not here to manage performance. We're not here to look at stats. We don't care about GA. We don't care about it. We just want to win. We just want to get back to winning ways. We want to be opposite of Tottenham. Opposite of Tottenham. Completely opposite of Tottenham. And from what you can hear in that interview, you can tell that he's trying to deliver to the fan base that, listen, I understand that you guys look at me as somebody coming from the other side. And I understand that you guys only know winning. You see what he said? He said Chelsea is, I think in the past 30 years, top 3 teams.
Yeah.
The best teams in Europe, in world football, right? In past 30 years. I think he said it was Real Madrid, Bayern, and Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
I think those are the 3 he mentioned. So he was trying to, he was doing his best to appease the fans and garner support. Because listen, you're coming from enemy territory. People like me I've been very judgmental of you.
Yeah.
Looking at you as a Spursy guy. So for me, listen, I said it before. I want to see this guy just go back to the basic defensive structure. Let's stop leaking goals. I don't care even if we're coming up with one point down the road. Obviously, I want to win, but let's stop. I want to see us stop leaking goals. I want to see the quality of the players. Right now, I'm not confident with the balance of our players. And I know it's still early. We can't judge. We don't know who's coming in. We don't know who's left that will be leaving. But so far, I'm not really comfortable with the balance of the squad. The midfield still looks very light. The defense looks very light. The attack looks dysfunctional. We're looking at a team with an average age of what, 21, 22?
Yep, 23, something like that.
Come on. So I want to see big moves. I want to see big moves. I know we have few kingsmen like Sterling. And hey, listen, Sterling, if you're fit and ready to go, you got to prove to us why we paid that money for you this season.
Mm-hmm. Yes, already, but he's not
Nothing less
already. He
than
has already
20 goals.
laid down the. He has already laid down to them. Enzo, Modric, Raheem Sterling, Noni Madueke. All of them has to prove that yes, we pay this money for you. He already said it already. He said he said there is it's not negotiable. It is not. You have to perform. That's it.
You see? Yeah,
That's
you
what he
have
said
to.
in his interview. No negotiable. You have to perform. You can't run anywhere. You can't even hide anywhere. You got to
Raheem
perform.
Sterling. Raheem Sterling. You think this thing you did last season where you're jumping around, skip to my loop, you're jumping rope, skip ringa rose. We're not doing that nonsense this season, man. 20 goals minimum. 20 goals. 20 goals. You're literally our hand. You're now our henchman.
Where Raheem Sterling wants to see 20 goals from?
It's got it in
My
Manchester
brother,
City.
he go find them. If you no find them, January he's gone, man.
But he can't do anything about it. The guy they blank out now.
Then he's gone because we can't get anything. Raheem Sterling Abdul cannot be in our team come January if he doesn't have at least 13 goals to his name. Cannot. That means
I will agree he has to score double numbers, double figures
by
next season.
January. Like come January, and I'm saying 13, 14 minimum.
I don't know about January, man.
Then he's not serious.
This guy cannot score a goal. He blanks out, man. He already. I think he even said himself, man. So yeah.
I'm tired of that nonsense, man. We're not going to take that nonsense, man. If he's going to do that January, he gone, man. We need you back on track. You're fit. You've had time. You've had off season. You're going to go to preseason. No excuses. You're the man. You're not going to be sharing real estate space up front. All the other guys that used to share your space are gone. So you're obviously going to get first. You're going to get a first look in when we're considering the first people up front. You're probably going to be the first up down there. So there's no excuse, man. Enough is enough. It's not like you came from Brighton. You came from City, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Came from
No,
City.
we need to get players that are going to give him competition so that we can bench him.
I guess so, man. It's so annoying. Like if you like, I vouch for this guy like tomorrow, no day. This guy come here, they play nonsense, jumping around like you do. No, we're not going to tolerate that nonsense.
Yes, I won't say yes, I'm sorry what Pochettino said, but I also like he laid out the challenge of the players and let them know. If you feel this is not my fault, it's on you. He's already told them, if you feel you're gonna get sued. That's like for me what he said in that interview. It's like a challenge to them. Even a Pancagon will get some beating. I'm not joking. Because he mentioned his name. If you feel
are you serious? He mentioned
yeah, it's an interview. Enzo Fernandez's name was mentioned there. The high caliber player that has been signed with high monies, Mikala Modric, Enzo Fernandez, Sterling, Noni Madueke, all of them.
That's why they're given the chance now. They're not given the chance because they are special players. They're given the chance, because Chelsea wants to give them the chance. And if they can't take it, they will just be replaced. It's as easy as that. Chelsea is Chelsea. You cannot go to Madrid and be making up excuses. You either grab the whole opportunity with both hands and deliver, or somebody will just buy somebody else and replace you. It's as easy as that. But the thing, what I wanted to say is, is I purposely didn't watch the interview because I wanted to listen to Chelsea fans' reaction. Because if I listen to the interview, I'll probably be biased, because I like Pochettino as a person, as a man. Despite the fact I don't think he's an elite coach. I think he's just a good coach. But I just wanted to see what the reaction will be from Chelsea fans.
Good. You are sick in the head.
And it seems like Chelsea fans.
Well, sorry guys, So the question here is, which of the Pochettino are we getting? Are we getting Pochettino from the same Pochettino from Tottenham or Spur, or we're getting the
No,
PSG Pochettino?
We don't even know yet. We have to
that's
wait
what I'm
and see.
getting
So
at.
we need
It
to know
seems
which.
from
I think we're getting the PSG Pochettino from Surrey, then there'll be a problem.
Mhm.
Yeah.
so the thing is, from what I've seen from Chelsea fans, it seems like they like what he said, but they are surprised at what he said, and they are hoping we can match what he is claiming. That's the reaction I'm getting
Which
from
is
Chelsea fans.
good. I
But
think in
I mean, intentionally, I didn't listen to the interview because I just wanted to read. I wanted to make conclusion from what Chelsea fans say.
I don't
do you also
understand
feel
that.
he's putting pressure on himself by saying from the day from the beginning of from the first day he got to hit the ground running. I'm not saying it's not good. It's very optimistic of him, but at the same time, won't you want to
He
buy
has to.
yourself some
But
He has
Boluwa,
to.
time?
Boluwa, I like you know what I like what they said is
Mm-hmm.
before because when we bring in Lampard and Potter, I was
Mm-hmm.
very critical because I was like, no. Poch come out and see if you wanna kill someone, kill him life and direct. Let everybody know you kill him. That's what Pochettino is doing.
So, but that could be used against him as well.
Yes,
If things don't
he's
start
ready to
working,
take the
they're gonna
he's
hold
ready
him
to
for his
yeah
words.
he's ready to take the
I
challenge.
just feel like, in as much as he's coming with no pressure, I don't think he needs to start saying all this. Obviously,
Yeah,
most of the players know they need to hit the ground running from the
yeah,
first day.
but Boluwa, I see these players, the majority of them are spoiled and
Which
they're
is,
like
I
babies.
understand. I'm saying on him himself. He didn't. I just feel, obviously, it's a change. Clean slate. A
Mhm.
lot of players need to prove themselves, but I don't. I just felt he didn't need to put pressure on himself
But
because
Boluwa,
this
see,
press conference, this press
No,
guys are going to use it against him as well if things don't go
but
right.
Boluwa, sorry to cut you chapter. Boluwa, in my country, if a boy is stubborn, they will use Paco and and tie rod to beat him. They will not use see
Come on,
Paco and tie
guys.
rod. See that one with that one will destroy you. You know what is called Paco?
no,
2 by 2. That one will
no.
that one.
There's there's two things here, right? It seems to me Chelsea fans are happy with what he said, but it seems like they are not convinced. But what you need to know is this guy is actually a follower of Bielsa's philosophy,
Mhm.
and the
That's
way
a
he has
problem.
come out to
That's a problem.
no,
That's a
the way he has
problem.
come out, the way he has come out to speak is the way Bielsa will have come out to talk.
I don't like that. I
From,
don't like that
from
comparison.
no, but
I don't like
that's the
that
reality
comparison.
now. But that's what it is. That's the reality.
I don't
The
like
guy
that
now,
comparison, man.
but the guy that Bielsa opposed to. So what do you
Is
want
a
me to
Bielsa
do?
supposed to put
It's a
like
fact
I
now.
don't like that. I okay, but then then we're going on the wrong direction.
No. Let me
That,
finish,
that
right? But I believed. I'm not sure maybe I even mentioned it on this stream. I believe as a group of young players, Bielsa will have been very good. I used to say Bielsa will be a good coach for these young players we have, but Bielsa is too old. So if we get a younger version of Bielsa and he's truly committed or devoted this time around to that philosophy, I think in terms of coaching,
what is
he
the
will
philosophy?
deliver.
What is the philosophy? What's the
Number
philosophy?
one, they will be the fittest they've ever been in their life.
Mhm.
In their life, they will be the fittest people
Nice.
they've
I
ever
like
been
that.
in their life. That's no,
I like
that's
that
number
already.
one.
But sorry,
That,
guys.
that that's
I I don't think we spoke. I think yesterday. I think Abdullah, you had a different show as well about Christian Pulisic leaving. We didn't speak about a couple of players who's going to be like replacements because right now, who are the wingers we have? Raheem Sterling and Madueke.
Modric and
Yeah.
Gala
you
Modric.
have two wingers,
That's
So
literally
like,
three.
three
Three
wingers.
okay,
wingers.
Modric as well. Sorry,
Yeah, that's three.
but like, is that
Modric,
enough?
Noni.
Like,
Modric
Yeah,
is
that's
not
enough. Yeah, because when
really?
you no
No,
UCL.
no,
I
it's
mean,
not
That can't
enough
be
for
enough. Like,
Abdullah.
come on,
What are you saying, man?
that can't
Abdullah,
be
come on.
enough. A lot of players have gone out. We need
Modric is
someone.
not
We
a
need people to
winger,
come in as
man.
well.
There's Noni, there's Modric, and then there's Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, out of
Well,
the three you've called, there's only Raheem Sterling that will be a starter there.
then we've not been
Noni,
able to ship.
it's still
We've not been able to
shaky.
ship. We've not
Or
been
you
able
want
to
Noni
to
is
rely
ship
shaky.
on
Ziyech.
Hakim Ziyech.
excuse me.
Well, we've
No,
not been able to ship him.
Okay, so he's still in the club.
Noni is suspect,
So
man. Noni is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
there yet.
That position is not easy. He's not easy yet. He hasn't really convinced a lot of people, but he's young. I think
No.
he can come good.
no, I think they are looking at players abroad. I think they're looking at
Wait,
more
wait.
players.
You know something, guys? I'm more concerned about the players we bring in. I'm not too worried about what Pochettino says. Yeah, you might come out and say a lot of good things, but I want to see the players who are replacing this dead, all our dead
Yes,
roots with. I want to
that's
see those
exactly.
are the things I'm more concerned about.
Because if you get CAICEDO, who are we bringing again? Are we bringing a
Yeah,
winger, a
I'm not concerned.
striker?
Even goalkeeper as well. We haven't talked about our goalkeeping
See,
option. We're going to
I'm
bring
what
Mendy.
I'm very well with the
What
goalkeeper because Poch wants to work with Kepa, and I'm very very worried when it comes to Arrizabalaga. Because yes, this Manchester he plays
see
from the back and everything, but if for me, Arrizabalaga can only get us top four. He cannot win us the league, and I'm not convinced with that.
see Chelsea fans are saying Pochettino says he wants to win. If he really believes that's what he wants to do, and he wants to rely on Kepa next season, he's lying. You cannot be a winning team with Kepa. So he better go find a proper keeper.
What do you call that? What do you call a basket in Yoruba land?
Akpere.
Is a basket.
A basket, man.
Blue eyes, we are not doing Arrizabalaga. Harlot. Hi, Chini.
Kepa is a basket, man.
With due respect to him, he's not reliable to be now. We're giving him a lot of chances now.
If you're 28 years old and you are still,
He can compete with the for the first choice, but not be that main guy. To be honest, this might not sound very friendly and popular, but look, I know David De Gea is not more Man United. I'd rather take a David De Gea than have a keeper.
Me too. I'll take David De Gea.
Yeah, Kepa is Kepa is nowhere. Please, like I don't want
no. The thing is, if we have convinced ourselves that we can just have anybody next season, then I will sign De Gea because I think it will be a good competition between him and Kepa. Not that because I believe De Gea is better or whatever. No, for Chelsea.
But competition is good for Spain.
For Spain, yes.
No, but the two of them are rubbish keeper, and they're not gonna keep for Spain again now.
Arrizabalaga is scored though. No,
which Spain?
He won the Nations
League. That ship doesn't see.
The guy is far behind the pecking order, man.
Which Spain again?
He wasn't in the squad, no.
They just to compete between themselves for Chelsea.
That's the only worry for me I have with Port because he wants to work with Kepa, and I'm worried.
Although, like when he said he wants to work with Kepa, doesn't mean Kepa's going to be his first choice. Yes, I want to work with you. You'll be part of the squad.
Slolina is the number 2. Do I trust Slolina? No.
No, so that's just based on what we have on ground. I don't think he ever mentioned saying Kepa will be our number 1. Exactly. Yes, he wants to work with him. This simply means Kepa will be given a chance.
But
imagine Slolina became number 1 coming to Liverpool.
No, but this is where I don't understand. Okay, this is where I don't understand. Okay, we have Lukaku at Inter Milan.
He's gonna guess
he wants to remain at Inter Milan. Onana wants to leave Inter Milan. Okay, I would think in terms of market value, the two of them are almost at par.
Okay, let me correct there. We don't have a Champions League like what Man United is going to be offering, so just take it out. Man United is offering the table.
Which Champions League offer?
No, you might say this because I'm a Chelsea fan, but let's be real. If you're not, why would you want to come to Chelsea now? Let's be real.
Hold on. 1 season Champions League.
What's the truth? Why do you want to take Chelsea over Man United? You tell me. I'd love to know. Now, right now. Especially when we don't have Champions League football. Man United got Champions League football. Yes, played on that Eric Ten Hag before. There's enough reasons for him to go to Man United. He's played under the current coach. Like there's just enough reason for him to go there.
I think he's not going there for football reasons.
No, that's very harsh to say. No.
It's just because we're not desperate enough to want him.
It's not about desperation. Like, look, sometimes, like I said, we don't have Champions League football.
No, are you saying
he's going to play under a coach he's played under before? Those are two good reasons.
Oh, okay. Are you saying Onana picked Man United ahead of Chelsea?
That's even if he had to pick. The Man United project is more related to him.
That's what I'm saying, Oluwa. We are not even at the table.
Even if you're on the table, let me borrow you, brother.
Well,
we go to Man United.
Let me read the chat. Let me read the chat.
We don't know the outcome. He's not even.
Well, like his previous coach is calling him. Why won't he want to go there?
Vote for your face. Could have never played for the Ajax team. Relax.
We don't know.
It's not about not knowing, brother. Like, I love it's the obvious. It's played under this coach before.
Let me quickly read the chat.
Right?
Vote for your face said Brighton wants Cowell. That's why it's taking. Yeah, I read that one already. So the Cowell deal will end up like Matic was sold as a young player to Benfica in an exchange for David Luiz. Matic developed at Benfica, then he was bought, but that is what will happen to Cowell. We'll see. Also, Vogt said, I'm also hearing Lewis all will play midfield for Chelsea. He will not play at fullback anymore. Do I trust Chilwell to be fully fit for the whole 38 matches? I don't trust Chilwell, but we'll see. We'll see.
You have Cuckoo there now, like, come on.
No comment. No comment. Eddie said, Cowell want about to do 2.0, month 2.0, he can get sold. Eddie said, given half an hour is coming.
Abdullah, how much do you think we can get on Cowell if we decide to sell to Brighton?
Brighton brought 3 deals. Chelsea rejected the 3. 35, 40, 45. And
come on, man, are they crazy?
But based on what Fabrizio
Fabrizio
and Austin said, close source closely to Chelsea want to sell him 80, 85. 80, 85. Eventually, they want to sell him 80, 85.
Chelsea want to sell Cowell for 80, 85. Are they crazy?
That's possible. That's what they want to do.
Yeah. What is that? Not dreaming? Who's going to buy 80, 85? Who's going to buy Cowell 80, 85? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Both of you said Abdul has spoken on this. Young player are now requesting a guaranteed start and minute at big club 18, 19 years. These days, everybody is in Ireland or Musiala and your supper child.
Yeah, they have to earn their right. They have to earn
right. Both also said, also, I'm disappointed in Nani. Why will you go to live stream and say, I'm bringing back? No, I'm bringing back. Nani can't even stop running into cold sack. He needs to focus.
Seriously, I'm telling you, like these people have suddenly they think it's a joke to be in a big club.
Said Sterling freeze every time he's on the box. Child.
That's true. That's true. No, that's true.
That's true.
Modric looks like self.
Both said Modric look like stop.
Like a 7-Eleven cashier. That's crazy, man. Like what? Yeah, but you at least smile. That's a problem.
You guys have 7-Eleven in London. Is there 7-Eleven in London? Because there's an American.
I don't even know what this guy means, right?
He's a cashier. There's one store that calls 7-Eleven. He's a cashier.
Yeah, 24-hour store, yes.
Yeah, it's a thrift store. They sell like so many stuff that they sell in the store.
It's owned by the Japanese.
Yeah, exactly. It's called 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
But if you see the way they dress, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Because I'll
Modric has blonde hair now. You can't see
it. Vote said one good thing Boli did was give a 2-year contract. It's under pressure. Poch knows that Potter was under illusion that it wasn't. So the short contract was very smart. Yeah.
I know that shows that they've learned from giving Potter, is it 5 years or 7 years?
5 years, yeah.
So I like it that they give Poch like short contract.
And if you do well, you can extend.
Exactly.
If he doesn't do well,
they will get rid of him quick enough.
Quick. Yeah, quick. Because for me, listen to the interview and everything. In as much I'm still skeptical, I still want to see the player we're gonna bring in and we're gonna sell before we have that discussion. Because coming to Liverpool, we have to be fit and ready. In a month's time, the Premier League starts in a month's time. So if you are not ready yet, it's gonna be that. It's gonna be tasty. It's gonna be looking tasty, man. It will look very tasty. So we gotta be ready. So people are also asking me the question. Okay, let me answer them. I'm not sure yet about because the Super Falcons of Nigeria will play in the World Cup, the Women's World Cup this month by next week. I think next week, Wednesday or Thursday. So I'm not sure yet if I will do a post match for the Super Falcons. I have to see. I'm not sure yet. After Angola 06 for the Super Falcons and Super Eagles of Nigeria, I've said anything about Nigerian national team, I don't want to get involved. But when it comes to the Super Falcons of Nigeria, I'm not sure. I have to wait and see. I don't know. People have been sending me that question. I'm not sure. I have to wait and see. I don't know. Because I don't want to start talking Nigerian. I'm gonna be getting pissed off. I talk about Super so it's a little bit dicey situation for me, but let's see. I expect them to qualify. They're in very good school in a very good group. They should qualify. They should be able to qualify. They're in a very good school, in a very good what's called group. So they should be able to go to. They should be able to go to. So we'll see. We might do a post match, we might not, but it depends. We'll see. We'll see though. The World Cup starts next week for the Super Falcons of Nigeria national team. The World Cup 2023. So we have to wait and see. So I'm not sure yet, but we have to wait and see because I don't know if I should do it or not because Nigeria stuff is freaking annoying. But we'll see. And a very good team, which I believe they should be able to go to. They should be able to go to. There should not be any hurdles, any obstacle for them. They should be able to go to. This is
what tournament is there?
The Women's World Cup. The Women's World Cup. It starts next week. New Zealand, Norway, Australia, Republic of Ireland, Nigeria, Canada, Philippines, Switzerland, Spain, Costa Rica, USA, Vietnam. So Nigeria should be able to go to.
Yeah, Nigeria's Canada's game will be very tough, to be honest.
Yeah, they should be able to go to. No hurdles should stop them for me. For me, they should be able to go to.
Anyway, Abdullah, I gotta jump, man. It's quite late here.
No worries. Peace out, guys. God bless. See you guys. Really appreciate you guys.
Take it easy. See you, Olua. Take care.
No
Bye.
worries.
Big up.
Peace.
Have a good one, guys.
Peace, everybody. Peace.